Weezy out of here. Weezy out of here, cause we just go crazy. Peter Parker, how he swinging the ladies. He came a long way from my grandmama's basement. You never seen inspiration. My partner just caught the AP for his baby. I don't wanna speak to a label. They ask what I bring, but I'm bringing the tape. On God, sharp with the fur when I sing with a Glock.
Yo, welcome back. Return of the Mac. M.A.C. Moss, Andrew, Carl. And if you're on YouTube, you can see we got Carl back in the building.
Yes, man.
Special guest, first of the year. Welcome.
Back in the fold. You
He's
feel me?
returned.
Yeah, for sure. Like
What's
a boomerang,
happening?
dog.
What's that?
Like a boomerang.
Yeah, just like a boomerang.
Yeah.
On point like a dot.
On point like a dot.
Oh, man. What's good with you?
Nothing, man.
Big changes.
Yeah, for sure. Yo, little baby here. No. Not getting much sleep, dog. You know, that's how the life is for real. You know, you're up 2-3 hours.
Malachi.
Yeah, Micah, big Micah in the building, the place to be.
Trying to build a team over there. I see you.
Yeah,
Real life fantasy.
That's about it right there.
See what's going on.
But they both should be ballers in something, for sure.
You just keep on shooting. Eventually, one of them is going to take off. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I mean, Carter is like completely infatuated with anything that has a ball, like sports.
He's got a cannon. I seen it in one of your, like, I want to say it was a Snapchat or something. The dude's got a cannon. That's a quarterback right there.
Yeah, he likes to. He loves to play catch. He'll do that shit all day. He likes to play basketball and shit. Like he actually be attempting to dribble and stuff. It's just
that's
pretty
dope.
cool. Yeah, I just show him like. I mean, of course, I watch sports and shit, and he just like sitting there and watching it. So
Did you get somebody to show him like how to play basketball since you don't know how?
You're a funny guy.
I was asking.
Funny motherfucker.
I'm just asking.
Knowing I'm the best on this pod, bro.
On what?
He said that towards me, and then he looked over like, I got to make sure Moss is cool with this. He kind of held up, looked over your way. I just want to point that out.
Oh, no, I was looking for the reassurance. Like, it don't matter, bro.
Nobody's reassuring you.
That's all I was looking for. Moss to be like, hell yeah. I was waiting for Moss to be like, yeah, hell yeah.
Oh my God,
bro, come on now. Come on. We could just be honest, though.
About what?
We could just be honest, bro. Come on. You know,
come on, what?
Just because you look like Nene don't mean you a baller.
I ain't saying I'm a baller necessarily, but I get it in, bro. When I used to play and shit, y'all know.
Back in the day.
Back in
It was like 15, 16.
Bro, I done played more recently than y'all.
Oh, for sure.
That's for sure.
I haven't played in at least 2 years.
I retired. I ain't hold no claim back the ball right now.
Unintentionally, I might have to. I haven't played in 2 years, and like the longer it goes, the longer it's like, maybe we don't do this anymore.
I'm still interested in competing, man. I can't wait till they get older. I'm busting ass on the court, bro.
Find somebody you can beat, huh?
I don't give a fuck. That'll never be me.
You're 8-year-old.
Yup. I'm swatting that shit. Get your shit up, nigga.
Get your
little
shit
body.
Up.
Yeah, I ain't
what you gotta do, bro.
holding back at all. You'll never beat me. That's what I'm saying. I beat my dad for the first time when I was like 11. I skunked his ass like 11-0. It's like I need some stiff competition out here. This dude sucks.
This guy's brutal.
Oh yeah. I mean, so I'm like,
See,
that
my dad was kind of
me.
nice. My dad was kind of nice. Like when I was like 10, 11, 12-ish growing up, he was still like playing like recreational ball and shit.
Yeah.
So he was still kind of good. But once I got into teenagers and I started, getting a little bigger,
See, my dad was,
shit used to change.
My dad was decent at basketball. Well, he played that real old school game. Motherfucker back you down from the top of the key and shit and throwing hook shots and stuff. So
that's where you learn. That's your game.
That's
your game.
Bro, I ain't gonna back you down from the top of the key, but you can't control me in paint. But anyway,
slow ass crossover, get within 15, turn backwards.
Hey, it works.
I'm bigger than you.
It works. It works every time. And don't act like I can't strike from distance either.
I'm gonna act like that.
You know how it is.
I'm gonna act like
you know how it is.
Don't act
play.
like.
But I vowed. I'm like, yo, this will never be me. My teenage son ain't beat me in basketball. Like, bro,
you think that now?
You got to grow up.
What if you end up being taller than you?
Don't matter. It don't matter when I go to the gym now. If somebody's taller than me, they're getting dominated. What the fuck does that mean?
I understand. I mean, hey, you're getting older like everybody else.
Yeah, in 12 years, when you're 40, and he's a teenager, he's gonna do to you the same thing that you did to your dad. He's gonna call you a loser.
Bro, I gotta be like,
say, I need
I'm
more
be like
competition.
50-something plus before that happens. They're gonna be like, damn, I can never beat this dude. That's what's gonna happen.
We shall see. We shall see.
I'm just saying, bro. I know. I mean.
So anyway,
you got a little Makai and Carter Ford throwing oops on you.
That's punishment. Motherfuckers going on punishment for a year and then coming out your room.
Set you up.
You gonna embarrass me like that? And you know this era kids, they gonna
put it on TikTok.
They gonna TikTok that shit. Look at me dunk with my dad.
You're gonna be dancing right after.
Hitting the gritty and shit.
The Steph Curry shoulder shimmy and shit.
Oh, man.
Like, nah, you definitely on punishment, motherfucker. For sure.
I don't like to think about what kids are gonna be like 10 years from now. They're already terrible.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of
like teenagers.
I just enjoy watching kids grow up.
Right about now, I'm in that club.
Oh, for sure.
Teenage years.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Good luck, my brother. The force is strong.
Yeah, it's all right.
Maybe with you.
You said you enjoy watching kids grow up. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Why you listen to your R. Kelly album?
Funny dude. They like them. They like those songs too, though. They're a big fan.
They don't know any better. You do.
They're big
it's the best stage where you at with them right now because you literally watch them grow and learn stuff.
Yeah.
Wait till they get teenagers and they actually start not liking your ass.
I mean, that happens
it's gonna
too.
Be different.
I know that phase is gonna come. I don't want to be the parent that's liked all the time.
It comes from everybody.
I think my parenting style is more like like. You'll hate me now, thank me later type thing. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
If you don't like me.
I ain't doing that friend shit. I ain't your friend.
Yeah. I mean, I want you to be able to come to me as a friend on certain things, like, that you need to talk about. But I know it's going to be certain things as a parent that you're just not going to want to talk to me about. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, exactly. Like, that's just how it is. So, but I mean, yeah, overall, it's just like I just want my kids to look back and be like, you know what, he was thinking about what was best for me instead of what I wanted to do and type shit. And that's all I can do.
That's how it always happens, though. They don't listen in the moment.
Yeah, for sure.
Take years later for them to go through some shit like, damn, Pop said that shit too.
Right. Yeah, my parents weren't super they weren't like I don't know how to say it. They weren't like mean about it, but they definitely were strong in whatever they thought. Yeah, there was no change in their mind. There was nothing. If you hate me for it, you hate me for it. Particularly my dad, but. Yeah, the older I got, I was like, all right, that made sense. Yeah. That made sense. That made sense. And now I'm like, me and my dad are like best friends. It's wild. Me and my mom were always close, but me and dad are like best friends now that I finally have like fully grown up.
Right,
I'm like, you really gave me everything I needed. It's crazy.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
by the time I have teenagers, I'm going to be like 75, so I'm not going to beat them at basketball.
I think of it as like almost like a team and shit. Like, that's kind of like what you are as a man of a household. You're almost like the leader of the team or whatever. And it's like, bitch, I want my team to win. You feel me? That's how
Kobe out there.
Well, however, I got to coach these motherfuckers up to win.
Yeah.
Like, so be it, goddammit. You know? Yeah. Joe Jackson was a terrible, like, I guess, I mean, he whooped the fuck out of. I don't do that to my kids.
He got to go to Joe Jackson.
All I'm saying, this is extreme. This is extreme. But, the motherfuckers was successful as successful can be at the same time, so or like King Richard and shit, like he had a vision for his kids and
he's a better example. He's a better example because like he went super hard, but they never turned out fucked up afterwards.
Yeah. I mean, I guess most of Joe Jackson was an awful person though, like awful, like a piece of shit kind of person.
That's a tough one.
But I'm just that was a bad example. But just saying to the extreme though, like. He had a vision for his kids, and I guess it worked out that way.
Moss, did you ever watch that King Richard movie?
I still ain't seen it yet.
Bro, it was really good. You should really check it out.
It's a great movie.
Really great movie.
The dude he was a visionary. Like, again, I compare him to LeVar Ball and shit, just like the predictions he made. He knew his girls were it, and he told them that.
After watching the movie, you couldn't deny the similarities in ways.
Yeah,
between the two fathers.
Yeah.
Right. While we're here, the Ball family.
Oh, what?
There's nothing new happened, but we were kind of just talking in the chat just the other day. Yeah. I forgot that Lonzo was in the league.
He's hurt,
and I'm not even taking shots right now. Don't be defensive here.
Oh yeah.
But I'm like, at this point, he's been hurt for a really long time.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Is there like concern for his career?
I think it is like legitimate concern.
So this is knee, right?
Yeah, it's something like a ligament. Or he had surgery or whatever, and they said like you're supposed to be better by now, like normally, But at the beginning of the season, I know he was saying that he still had trouble walking upstairs and shit.
Damn.
The doctors can't figure out why he's still having so much pain. I did see something recently that said he's making progress, but right now it's looking like he might not play this season.
That's tough. I still like
man.
Lonzo. He was the one I liked the most. LaMelo's clearly a baller and just continues to get better.
Yeah.
But Lonzo's the one I liked the most.
Yeah, I mean, I had high hopes for Lonzo Ball, man. I don't think he'll ever reach that because I really think now he's like a shooter in the league, like a D&3 guy more than like your
star.
Point guard, like that the point guards are in today's league.
Well, he'll
These high
always be able to
capacity
pass.
scores.
He'll always be able to pass
Great court
elite.
vision.
So
Right,
that'll
great
be
court
good
vision.
whenever
And I do
he does
think
get back.
he can get to the rim as well too. He has to be a better finisher, and I think he's improved every year that he's played as well.
He's
But
a triple-double-esque type player. He's
Yeah.
capable
low
of getting
on the
shots.
low end of the points wise anyway.
Not
It's
as
gonna be
frequent,
like
but
it's gonna be
he's
11
capable.
points, 10 rebounds, 11 assists
Yeah.
kind of stat line
right.
if he get it. But
Still count.
yeah, like he's improved his 3-point shot and all of that. But yeah, it's a crazy thing. That's
I
going
hope
on
he
with him
gets
right
back,
now.
man. I really do, because the Bulls are already kind of fun anyway. But I just like his game. I love a good passer. Anybody that can pass elite, I'm a fan of.
And
Immediately.
he's a great defender though. Like he
For sure.
locks people up. I mean, you got to see what he looks like on the return. But I think if he does bounce back, he's really a valuable piece if you set out to win a championship. Even if you got to bring him like off the bench or whatever, I really think you got to have guys like Lonzo Ball, like that kind of mentality on your team.
I think so too.
Good play.
I probably messed this up because we actually had a fairly easy segue into what we were going to start with anyway. You were talking about fathers and all this stuff about what's expected from men. What was this list that you're talking about from Twitter? You said there's a
All right.
list of...
So
you
I
explain
heard
it.
about a list called things men are allowed to do.
Are allowed or are not?
Aren't allowed. Aren't
Okay.
allowed, excuse me. I found out, listened to Roy and Maul. They found this list. They had a little fun with it. I thought it'd be a fun shit for us to go in on. So it was supposed to be made up of, it says, ideas by jobless, bitter women. So
Oh, no.
I'm thinking a man got this off of what women be saying on Twitter. Because women on Twitter be wild and they be saying wild shit. Starts off by run for the bus.
What?
Run for the bus.
Men shouldn't run
Oh,
for
you
the
can't
bus.
do
Like you late for the bus, you see it and pulled up. You ain't supposed to
just
run
let-
too.
You're just supposed to let it go.
Yeah, you gotta wait on the next one.
I'm immediately picturing Pursuit of Happiness where he's like carrying around those big fucking
You
machines.
look crazy. You look crazy. Like, why you
I
running
think,
to the
yeah.
bus? You ain't that serious.
I mean, it's the like the premise of it is just to like not be riding a bus.
That's probably a
Like
good
you
idea.
probably should, if you're a grown man, you probably shouldn't be. But what if you live in one of these metro,
Right.
kind of areas?
I think this
be
list is
normal.
based off being in like a big city like New York or something like that.
Gotcha.
A lot of the shit is based on kind of that.
Okay. I mean, I guess I'm not from there. I bet you do look kind of crazy if you're from there because the bus
Yeah.
come like every 10 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's
up
like
there
5
and
to
shit.
7 minutes.
Yeah,
Like, you can just
yeah.
wait for the next one.
Yeah,
It ain't like,
So you got a job interview. You got to eat that one and look crazy. Just about
Right.
everything else,
Right.
it's like,
Yeah.
all right, I missed it.
Hey,
I
I
missed
missed
it.
that shit.
I'll
you can't
be
run.
there late.
Why you busting a jog for us? Chill out.
All right,
And that
see what
motherfucker,
the-
it's not gonna stop for you 9 times out of 10. That motherfucker will keep rolling.
You
Not
went up
paying
running
no
for no
attention.
reason. Now you look even more crazy.
There's a whole lot of rules up there I wasn't aware of.
for the like bus train situation.
Bus, train, and cab and shit too. Apparently, I skipped the
Yeah,
line
that's the whole culture.
for the
Oh, yeah.
for the cab and shit. Like I had to go. I was about to be late for my flight and shit. So
That's a good one.
soon as I seen a cab pull over, I'm like, hey, shit, I hopped in the motherfucker, you know? Dude was like, you see all these people, one of the valet guys or something like that worked, I don't know why, it was somewhere in Manhattan is where I was at. He was like, you see all these people that you're waiting, that they were waiting in line for a cab. I'm like, oh, my bad, I gotta go. That's all I told him, like, shit, my bad.
I thought this is one of the most disrespectful cities on earth. Like, who gives a fuck about manners?
Yeah,
I'm trying to get
gotta
this
go,
cab.
bro. He pulled over for me. I waited this motherfucker down. He
Yeah.
pulled over for me. So
Hey.
shit.
You better
Snooze,
voice
you
your
lose.
opinion if you're waiting.
I'm not waiting on you. And I told
Yeah.
him, man, like, yo, if you can give me I'll give you a big ass tip if you can get me to the airport.
Fuck around, be sitting right there waiting all day. You waiting in line and shit. We're just waiting in line.
Right,
For a cab.
yeah. I need to go now, sir. So it was a long ass line too.
Did you
but
run though? Did you run to catch the cab?
I hit a light jog.
Brisk walk.
It was raining. It was raining, bro.
Okay, all right. Maybe there's exception for the weather.
Yeah. I had a baby and shit with me, so.
All right, the next one we got is hug your boys. Just randomly just hug your boys.
I
don't think
disagree.
I've hugged neither one of y'all before.
I mean, if the circumstance calls for it, bro, I'll give you a hug. You need a hug? I'm open for a hug.
I'm the same way. This is not something I'm particularly
Not like a
about.
dap hug either, like a dap you just bring it in a little bit.
Sometimes-
like
so that might
an
change
actual
it
like
up.
embrace.
Sometimes niggas need that, bro.
You right. I mean, I agree.
That shit happens
This is what they
sometimes.
saying men shouldn't be doing though.
I think it would be relatively weird if that was like a normal thing. Where you're constant, like
Every
it's
time
a
you greet
regular
somebody,
thing
it's a
that
hug.
comes
What's up,
up.
bro?
But yeah, sometimes somebody needs it. Sometimes
Bro,
there's real stuff going
if I
on.
hadn't seen y'all in a while, I'd probably hug you like that, though.
I was just about to say, if I
Y'all
seen
are
somebody I
evolved.
haven't
I like
seen
that.
for a long
I'd
time,
probably hug you like that, bro.
no doubt.
It's been a
I fuck
minute.
with that. I fuck with
When
that.
I went
Y'all
down
evolved.
to
You move out of state or something.
Yeah, I was just about to say when I went down to
But
visit
y'all
M.A.C.
naming like specific predicaments. I get it though. I get it.
Normal greetings, probably not.
Normal greetings, like I'm not hugging you every
It's
time
like,
I
we're
see
going to do
you.
the Italian mob kiss after this or something. Motherfucker, what the fuck you doing? But, like, after, a long period of time not seeing somebody, I think that's cool. Or, like I said, if you moments call for it sometimes. Motherfuckers get emotional, too.
If you just want a massive bet, sometimes you hit them with the
Oh, yeah,
slap
yeah,
and like
yeah,
bear
yeah,
hug,
yeah,
but it's
yeah.
like a celebratory
Let's
hug.
go.
Yeah,
type
yeah.
shit. Hell
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
That's manly, though.
Chest
I
bump.
agree.
That's the manly hug.
Yeah, it'll be a little chest bump.
Yeah.
You get all that.
I like that.
Say hey to your friends.
Say hey.
Just hey.
Like little baby, hey?
Yeah, because that's never
I'm thinking
allowed.
any situation
Never,
to hey.
yeah.
Like jump in the group chat. Hey y'all.
I think it's very feminine when you just say hey.
It's
in a text
hard to
message.
just say hey. It's you got to go with hey, what's up, man? What's going on? What's
Something-
good?
Yeah.
Got to something after it.
Yeah. Just hey is weird. I'm with that.
I'll
I'm
send
with
it
that
to
one.
you can send it to like a female or something.
No,
Hey,
this is just with your boys.
I even think that's
What you
whack,
text
to
your
be
Boy
honest
strap,
with you.
hey.
hey, smiley face.
Hey. No, see the smiley
even
face
like
is
that,
wild.
to be honest with you.
The smiley face is wild.
You talking about to a girl though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, even that seems weird to me. Just saying just hey is just weird in general.
Kinda.
What are we doing here? You want to talk to somebody, just say something. Say what you want.
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
Fucking hey me.
Somebody hit you with a hey. You go get high.
Yeah, that's right. We're just
You
wasting
get high.
time. We're wasting time. Put the text into two. Put everything together.
Yeah, what did you text
Hey,
me to
what you
talk
doing?
about?
Just the what you doing at least makes it better. Just hey is
I
weird.
wonder what you doing.
Yeah, I don't know how many just hays I done sent.
Nah.
That's after that fucking like you ain't talked to somebody in a long ass time and shit. You trying
Unsure.
to throw a branch out there. Hey, you still there? Hey, you out there?
Throw
man.
a branch out there is a good way to say it.
Yeah,
Just looking
yeah.
like I don't know if I'm gonna get a
I
response or
have no
not.
idea.
Just a simple hey.
This
Just to see
person
if they
will read
respond
this.
real quick.
Hey,
I get it. I get it.
am I blocked? That's one was like, hey, am I blocked? Or,
Right. That's a good one.
What we got? It's a lot of these. I'm just trying to pick the funniest ones. Hang out with a group of girls.
It's a red flag. If you hanging out with a group of girls and you ain't trying to smash one of them, it's a red flag.
Have to agree.
If all these girls are your friends,
Right.
if that's how you describe
Like total friends.
these are my
like you
friends.
going out on girl night.
It's a red flag.
Yeah.
They invited you out knowing that you wouldn't
Yeah,
try
yeah.
nothing.
Don't
Doing the
understand
testosterone.
what the desire would be.
I don't know either. And people feel like I'm like
We're
sexist.
more fun. No, we're 100% more fun.
Guys
Yeah.
are more fun.
There's no question about that. So
Right.
if there is no intent to try to get with one of these girls, you're not going out with a group of girls to have fun.
No.
No, that makes no sense. I agree with that list or with that part of the list.
Man, yeah.
I
agree.
I question it when I see a dude that got a lot of female friends and they like legitimately female friends. Like
Right.
it's
What if you like
it's weird to me.
smashing a couple of them on the low though?
Dude, that's cool.
You just playing
You
the
the man.
role.
You the
Playing the
man.
role.
And you can still go out with them and you good.
Okay, I mean, yeah.
That
Makes sense for the situation.
Yeah, that makes sense. But otherwise, it's like, what are you doing here, bro?
Next
It makes
one.
me question you. Right? It's like, yeah, shit makes me
Little
question you.
skeptical. It makes you think what's going on here. What you doing with all them girls?
And,
Ain't nothing
and when
with
I
you?
pull you to the side and shit, I'm like, yo, which one?
Which one with you, bro?
Yeah. Oh, no, they just my friend.
Oh no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, I don't know.
No. They like my sisters, bro. They ain't
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Stop that.
Oh, that's wild.
That's what they do. That's like my sister.
They my
right
sisters
there.
with shit, bro. They ain't nothing.
That's the one you chose to be your sister. You know what I'm saying? Like
She the baddest one up in this joint.
No,
You crazy.
she chose that she was your sister.
Right, and you just went along with it. Wait, no, I ain't got that much time to waste around pretending like I'm your friend.
Hey, it's a lane. Some people gotta play their role.
I had a couple female friends that are like longtime friends that I text with a decent amount, but we don't hang out at all. Not like going out on girls' nights. I think even what I do would be considered weird to most people, but it's going out with the ladies is just, that's the part that I find super weird.
Yeah, what's the intention?
What are you doing? This
What's
is
the
not
intention
fun.
here? Who on
Could just be hanging out.
It's not fun though.
It's not fun though.
It's not fun.
To do what? I can see like it's somebody's birthday or something. I done
Yeah.
went out. I done came out for one of these girls' birthday or something.
Yeah.
But low key, the only reason why you would come out is like, I mean, I guess if they was like really, really good friends.
Go out with a gang of coworkers. We work
Right,
with all
right.
women.
That would
I've
be
gone out a
different.
few times to grab drinks with like the
Right.
whole group of coworkers, and they're almost all women. And most of the time, I'm not trying with none of them. But it's like we just work together.
So
I'm
you
going out
with a
for
group
one
of
night.
girls. That's the situation.
It's
You gotta add context.
it's
to
not
it.
that different, I suppose. But I do
If you
think
do
there's
it like
context difference.
routinely, like these are like again your
It's like once a year.
frequent set of friends.
What we doing this weekend, y'all?
Yeah.
In the group chat. What we doing?
Yeah. You in the group chat with them? It's a problem.
Todd.
Yeah.
It might be a vibe. You never know. I don't know. Might work
That's
out.
the kind of vibe I'm looking for if it don't
What about
end correctly.
What about going for cocktails with the man them?
With the what? I don't understand this British terminology.
Going out for cocktails with your boys.
I feel like cocktails is the
Cocktails?
part that they're focused in on.
Right, can you
Outside
be
of
like-
that, it's like going to grab drinks and
Going to
everybody
grab
gets
some
mixed drinks. I don't think that's weird, but
Like
I
the
think they're
bed.
trying to make fun of you on the cocktails part.
I like a mixed drink.
Yeah, I got no problem.
If
We all
you're
go
gonna
out and
drink,
get
then
a-
that shit might as well be good. Otherwise, I'm not drinking that shit straight.
Not
I don't
going
give
to
a
get
fuck how
shots.
much of a man that make me look like over here.
Yeah, I fuck with a mixed drink.
I want
Yeah,
the
I'm not-
straw
I
and everything,
I
bitch.
don't like the shame that mixed drinks get. Like men can't buy a mixed drink.
That shit's
Nah,
good.
it's crazy. I'm
Right.
not a manly drinker. Point
I'll
blank.
drink a beer.
If I'm gonna drink, it's usually gonna be something that would be considered feminine, but it's gonna taste better than what everybody else is drinking. And I could care less.
Yeah, because I mean, motherfuckers just drink
Well,
to
it just
get fucked up.
depends.
Because it's like this isn't like a good beverage. Like it doesn't hit your palate, and you're like, if it does, then you're an
I'm at the
alcoholic.
crib. I'm not at the crib like with the slushy machine building up drinks. Like I'm gonna have a soda and a juice with my liquor,
Right,
and that's
right.
just gonna be it.
Yeah.
Like,
I agree.
but I ain't about to mix. If I'm out, I'll order a mixed drink or something like that. Something different. Just depends.
I'm gonna hit you for $12 anyway. I might as well like
Right,
it.
right.
I
Fuck
put
that.
some extra shit in there. You ain't about to just pour no fucking liquor and soda. I can do that at the crib.
You gotta have straight shots all night. You know, I'm
Hell
good.
no.
Make this shit look fancy.
Put some grenadine in that bitch.
Oh, we can't use an umbrella yet.
Disagree.
Can't use an umbrella.
I'm comfortable
I kind
drinking
of
an
agree
umbrella
with
drink.
this. I've never owned an umbrella in my life.
I do
Are you
not
talking? I
own
thought
one.
we were still on drinks, umbrella drinks.
Oh no, just using an umbrella. Period.
Nah, fuck that. Umbrella.
Put a fucking hat on. Put your hood on. You out here with an
I
umbrella.
generally
for?
don't use an umbrella. I'll say that, but I'm not against it.
Nah, bro.
I'm not against
So
it.
you just
If
keep
you
a
have one,
umbrella handy. Like you keep an umbrella in the car.
I mean, I don't. No.
Yeah, I ain't doing that. Either.
I just hop out.
Yeah,
It is what it is.
I got a hood. I got a hat on.
I think I.
I'm
I
good.
got dreads.
yeah,
I'm good.
That
I
too.
think I agree with you. I use umbrella. I used to use an umbrella regularly, but that was when I was sitting out back on the porch, taking part in things that I had to be outside for. And I'm like, I'm gonna be out here for 5 minutes. I'm not sitting
That's
in
different.
the rain.
I'm
Well,
talking
for
about
sure.
like you had one in the car
No, I'm
already.
with you. I'm
It
with
starts
you.
raining while you out. Let me grab my umbrella so I can run in the store real quick.
No,
But
I'm
what
with
if you got like a real fly ass umbrella? You really, what do you call like one of them? You real P.
You real
What
P.
your umbrella
Like
is.
Louis Vuitton umbrella.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you want to flex,
I
could be
wouldn't
a thing.
judge anybody that use one. I'm more with you on like convenience sake. Like I'm going from point A to point B. I'll jog a little bit if it's
It
raining
depends on how
hard.
far you gotta go, and how hard is it fucking raining.
For sure.
It depends, I guess. I guess it don't depend for me. However, it's raining, I'm gonna put my hood up.
Has there ever
And
been
run
a
in the
time
store.
where it's pouring though, and you're like, I wish I had an umbrella. Like you didn't plan for it.
I probably thought
but you're
that
like,
way.
yo, I
Maybe
wish I
the
had
thought.
one.
Yeah, maybe I had the thought. Maybe.
It's
I
a kind
I
of
was like with
it's an
somebody.
inconvenience to carry an umbrella though.
Yeah, it's just not
Yeah,
something you
because
think
you gotta
about.
carry that shit around wherever you at.
Right.
Now this motherfucker all wet too, and it's like, damn.
Yeah.
And they really don't help you when you got to go in and out of doors and shit. It's like, oh damn, I'm gonna get soaking wet anyway.
That's the worst part. Trying to put the umbrella away. It's like, I'm done. Just throw it away.
Once you gotta put it away, it's like fuck.
Yeah, why don't they make more disposable
Carry
motherfuckers
the
like
shit
that?
around,
You know,
a pocket
I
umbrella.
just toss that motherfucker. Yeah, when I'm done with like a
I'm
poncho
done.
or something. You know,
I like that idea.
A pocket
Save
umbrella,
that.
poncho.
yeah, say that
Save
shit.
that idea.
No worries, it'll dissolve. 24 hours time.
Biodegradable umbrellas. Oh man,
That's funny as hell. What's another one? Oh, carrying the power bank, like a portable charger.
I disagree, bro.
Yeah, that's intelligent.
A lot of people say it's unnecessary. So you walking around with a big ass power bank in your pocket,
Not every
with a cord hanging
when
out.
when I go like to work events and stuff like that, I bring my shit with me.
All right, you on a
I'm
day
prepared,
a day out event, and you ain't around no plugs. Maybe yeah.
I mean, generally, I like to leave the house with my phone pretty much charged. So
Yeah, I plan for that, to be honest with you. I try to. If I'm going to be going for a minute, I'm
You
leaving
going
with
to a festival or
100%.
something?
Yeah.
Then sure. But like on a daily, like you just keep a power bank in a tuck like you would an umbrella.
yeah, I mean, I wouldn't.
You got a phone addiction at that point. I'm not taking shots at your manliness, but if you got to leave the house with a power bank at all times, you got a
got to have
phone
it.
addiction.
You got to
Or
have
you
it.
need a
Something
new
wrong
phone.
with you.
Your phone's fucked up.
Yeah, that shit's dying too fast.
You can't stay out the house 8 hours without your shit being fucked up. Yeah, you need a new phone. But for the most part, like if you drive, you probably got a charger or something in your car. So
Yep.
Driving with two hands?
I like to be safe sometimes.
You drive with both hands?
Sometimes
I do that in the rain. My eyesight is terrible,
think
even
I
with
ever drive with
glasses.
two
I
hands.
really be driving like an old woman in the rain, straight up. Not gonna lie to you. I go slow. I'm sitting up close,
that's
turning the
funny.
music down.
That's
yeah,
funny.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
That's funny.
I mean, sometimes it got to be raining like extremely hard. But I mean, I drive with two hands sometimes.
Oh, damn.
What is it? 10 and
10
4.
and 2.
Me up with
10 and
this
2. I thought it was 10 and 4.
You ever seen the clock before? 10 and 4 is like this. What are you doing?
Oh yeah. Or was it fucking? It's 4 and
He's
8?
trying to think of
8
the
and
numbers
4?
that you at
8
now.
and 4.
Is it 8 and 4?
I guess that would work.
Like this? That's the way you're supposed to do it, so you can't overcorrect now.
I don't know.
It used to be 10 and 2.
I know how to drive, so I don't
Now
worry
it's 8
about
and
this
4.
stuff.
I drive with one hand. I don't know. I need to
I
loosen
mean,
up.
for the most part, I drive. I would say for the most part, I drive with one
I'm
hand.
pretty
but
comfortable driving with one hand.
I'm not. I don't drive with two hands and be like, oh, that was pretty feminine. Let me check my shit.
Agree.
Like, no, bro.
That's a reach for the feminine side.
Yeah.
When you turn, do you cross over with it? Do you hit the crossover?
No, I mean, I'm normally a whipper.
Yeah, I'm whipping that shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm normally a
I'm whipping
whipper.
that shit one-handed.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah. Like I'm driving the fucking caddy.
You got one more?
Let me see another funny one. Drinking strawberry lemonade.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I don't fuck with
It's
that.
amazing. No, I'm saying
Strawberry
it's
lemonade
amazing.
is fire.
Yeah, we're on the same page. It's crazy. It's
Yeah,
better than
what
lemonade.
the
Doesn't
fuck
even
is
make any
going on?
sense. But it's a lot of wild ones like that. It's like, damn.
Yeah,
I can't
Lemonade
do
is
that.
kind of whack by itself. I like a flavor lemonade.
I disagree. I disagree with
It
I
that.
depends.
drink it,
I
but
like
I'm not
lemonade by
excited
itself,
about
dude.
that. I like pink lemonade way better than regular lemonade.
No, I
I
can't.
kind of agree with that. Pink
Way
lemonade
better.
is better.
Yeah, strawberry lemonade.
But I like
who
lemonade,
made up
though.
these? Half of those was nonsense.
Yeah, nonsense.
Job is bitter women.
Yeah,
That's what it says.
If that's what they're judging us on, that's their problem.
I've seen some people like these. I don't know these Instagram bitches or whatever. They've come out and said they think a guy looks broke if he takes the leftovers from the dinner
That
date.
was on the list.
I have seen that.
Don't take no doggy bag. You don't take no leftover bag. If you don't eat it, then leave it.
Yeah, I'm taking in my leftovers every time.
every fucking time.
But
bitch.
I'm a cheap person. I don't care if anybody thinks I'm
depends.
broke. I really don't. No impact on me at
Oh
all.
yeah, you're right. I mean, at
Could
that
care
point,
less.
it's just like you're super ignorant. I don't even want to be surrounded by you.
Yeah,
though.
if there's a girl that's judging me off, I don't want that girl. I
At
don't
all.
want that girl at all.
Yeah, that's nothing but headaches.
But there's going to be a lot of problems that they're
All
going
right,
to see with my spending.
scenario. Say you on a date. Y'all go to dinner. Y'all doing something after the date. And it's like down the block. Are you going to be carrying your to-go plate all the rest of the night?
I'm dropping it in the car. I'm still taking it.
I'm gonna try to figure out a way. If it's like an inconvenience, it's not a huge deal.
Right.
You know, it is what it is. But I'm fucking taking my wings with me. You
Why
crazy?
don't you finish your wings?
100%.
These shit's gonna be fire by the end of the night.
We ordered 20 of them.
Bitch, I want that hungry. Ain't none of your business.
I want that hungry.
I done paid for all this food, and now I'm the broke motherfucker. Like hell no.
If the girl don't finish her food and she don't want to take it with her. First date.
It depends on what she got.
It was a nice meal. Like, say she got like a nice 12-ounce steak or something.
I'm
ate
taking
like
that.
half of it.
No, I'm taking that. That's steak and eggs tomorrow. I'm taking that.
Yeah.
I paid for it. I'm taking that.
Oh, so you're taking her leftovers.
If she's
with
not
you.
taking it, we're not leaving it.
Yeah, okay.
12-ounce steak, you said? Steak and eggs tomorrow.
Just some OD that she ain't finished or she barely ate.
And
took
then
a few bites
I'm
on
really
it.
looking at her rest of the night. That's an ungrateful bitch. Right?
That's an ungrateful one.
She ungrateful as hell, bro.
Yeah, honestly,
This
I
fucking
want her to take
$26
it.
steak you done got. You don't want to eat it.
You gotta finish that shit.
I
Take
got
it
no
with you or
problems
something.
with her not finishing it, but she needs to want to take that home.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Like, I'm taking that
She gotta
home.
have a
All right,
desire.
bet.
All right. On the other end, what if she got a 12-ounce steak, got like 3 sides, dessert, scrape all of it, clean the plates,
Respect.
sopping it all up.
I have some questions, maybe. about
respect
Like scrape,
maybe
like
I need to
left
see your
nothing-
house.
Left nothing on the plate.
Maybe I need to see how you living, but I'm fine with that too, though.
I respect
I'm fine with
I'll be a question like, why you so hungry?
I'm fine with
Why
that.
you scrape
overall.
that plate like that?
Maybe she work out a lot. Maybe she work out a lot or something. She got a big appetite or something. I don't
What if
know.
you just trying to do something out? You know she going straight to sleep after crushing that plate like that. She ain't trying to do nothing.
Maybe not. Depending on what she got, bro. I don't know. I've seen that
Depending on
shit
what she
happen though
got.
before. I'm like, damn.
Crush it.
That shit was
You can't
impressive.
say it don't throw you off.
Fuck
Like,
me
like
up.
they crush they play faster
But
than
it-
yours.
this-
You still eating that shit done.
This was a coworker though. We weren't like on a date or nothing. We all like kind of out eating, and like she crushed her little tiny ass girl, crushed her plate like 2 times faster than I won't even done with my shit. I felt a little embarrassed.
Went to work on
I think at that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
I think it might be a little embarrassing.
Start
You
questioning your man.
crushed
Like, damn.
We got to
Start
switch foot for the
shoveling
waiter come back over here. She gonna look at me like, what the fuck?
You over there still going in on your
Yeah,
plate. She
yeah.
over there looking at you crazy. Like,
I
damn.
was a little concerned about that because I'm like, damn, are you eating enough at home? Are they paying you enough here?
Hey, draw some
These are
concern.
things that I thought
Let's
about.
draw some concern.
Yeah, that was wild.
Yeah, that's all we get. We ain't go to all of them.
That was a good
Funny
list. That was a good bring to the podcast. We appreciate that.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
Something to fun it up.
Gonna get started on these football games.
Let's do it, man. It was wild.
It was a great freaking weekend.
It was a
For
great
real.
weekend.
Let's start with Saturday.
Except for my
Yeah,
bets.
go in order.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, Seahawks Niners. This one was unexpected first half, to be honest with you.
It's tied up 17-17, right?
Hawks put up a fight.
17-16, Seahawks were up
Okay, right.
at
right,
halftime.
right.
And I didn't think 49ers looked terrible by any means, but Purdy was certainly like amped up, anxious, whatever you want to call it. He was missing a chunk of throws that seemed like relatively easy, or like trying to fit balls into spots that they didn't belong. Pause. But second half, it was just a completely different game. They were cooked.
Real easy.
Yeah, man. I mean, I think the 49ers is just a lot to deal with, man.
Fucking loaded.
They're going to fuck some people up. They're good
Too
on
much
defense,
firepower.
man. Debo Samuels had some great plays. Once that guy gets in space, man, it can always go to the house.
Yeah.
When he took off on the
Sideline,
the
yeah.
long touchdown,
He's
he got
amazing,
down the
man.
sideline. It was
He's just amazing,
ridiculous.
dog. Yeah, you just knew what was up. You like, oh, this dude makes a couple guys miss. It's over for you. It's gonna be it's an explosive play waiting to happen. Of course,
Mac had a big run.
McCaffrey went off. He only had 15 carries, had a $119.
Yeah, 60-yard run
Yeah,
on
that
his first
68
carry.
Yeah. He's been a great addition, which we knew he was going to be
Right.
a factor in that offense. I really like what they do with Brock Purdy, man. They make it simple for him. I mean, how many wide open throws does this guy have? They're scheming people open.
You know who that is?
What?
Shanahan.
Oh yeah, it's Shanahan for sure. And
He
I
cooking over there.
I think I'm not sure because I feel like if you play the boot aggressively, then you got to get somebody in his face and kind of tighten up on these like wide open like concepts that they're able to scheme up. But then you got to worry about the run game so heavily.
Yeah.
It's almost like
You got to worry about too much.
it's the exact offense that Cleveland wants to run. like or what they had success with Baker a lot, just making it real simple,
getting them out of the pocket a little bit,
getting them out of the pocket and stuff like that. Like I said, they really doing a good job of scheming stuff for him. But I mean, Brock Purdy is out there making the throws because it's the same offense as what they had with Jimmy Garoppolo, but it looks a lot better when Brock Purdy is doing it. So
he looks so confident, son. He really looks confident out there.
But nothing's happened to shaking.
Not yet.
You know what I'm saying? He hasn't had any negative moments. He hasn't thrown an interception yet, right?
I'm not sure.
I don't think he's thrown a pick since he started. So
that's wild.
Or if he has, and I don't remember it, or it was early on. But yeah, I think he hasn't really experienced much adversity yet. Like a situation where you're like, oh man, they're on his ass this game. They're really making him feel uncomfortable in the pocket.
Yeah,
none of that. And I mean, you can really get that, like tip your hat to the coaching staff on that type of shit because they're obviously putting him in a great situation. But you got to look at it at the same time. It's like, hey, this dude is running the offense. So you got to give credit there too.
Most points by a rookie making his debut in the playoffs, 41 points.
But scored 3 touchdowns out there. So.
The other rookie was right behind him, the one that was drafted a pick after him, old Scholar, with 31 points.
Really? Oh,
yeah, they both set the record.
I think it gets lost a little bit with all the big names that they got, but Ayuk is a monster too. He had like 3 catches for 70-something yards in the first half.
About George Kittle. Nasty.
Right.
In the red zone.
Yeah, they got weapons on top of weapons. It was great that Debo came back from his injury. I don't know how long he's been back, but he looked fully healthy.
Just the
this is his first game.
Okay.
That was first game back.
Well, either one.
They look like a wagon. I think they're going to make that run. Do you still have concerns with Purdy as it gets deeper into the playoffs, the whole rookie quarterback? I mean at some point that's going to come up.
I feel like it has to. It normally does. It's just never been a rookie quarterback to win a Super Bowl or even take his team there, right. I don't think. Especially not in our lifetime anyway. Or I guess the only one is Dan Marino.
Yeah, I think
Dan Marino did he went to the Super Bowl as a rookie.
I thought they said never, but I mean you could be right.
He went to the Super Bowl as a rookie.
Has anybody had the weapons that he's had, though? Like any rookie ever had this type of weaponry?
That's why I think it's the best thing. They got so much they can cover up.
Also the scheme. I think, we always knew that Shanahan was this supreme play caller. He's displayed that over his times, and his team has been extremely competitive while he's been the coach there. So, I mean, you got to give it a lot of thought into that. Like, they're clearly putting this dude in concepts to where he can be successful down in and down out. So, I don't know. Maybe I'm just looking at the NFC as a whole. Which
next?
The only defense that can stop them, I feel like, is the Eagles. Right? I mean, what other defense are you scared of in the NFC?
I think that's the only one.
Yeah, it might be.
Am I wrong? Am I skipping over somebody that I'm not thinking?
Dallas is probably the next best NFC defense, and I don't think they have what it takes.
Right there.
I didn't look at who plays who next at all until we get to like projecting those games. We'll do that in a little bit, but
they play who the winner of the night's game.
Well, we still got a game tonight, so that'll
they fucked everything up by doing that. But
Giants play the Eagles next week. Sheesh,
that's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Anything else on this game?
No, that's it. It won't have. I think we all expected this to go. They blow them out.
And Gino played well.
He did.
DK was lighting it up too.
Early, he had that big catch early.
Yeah.
They got hard. They got 2 TDs, I think.
He was toasting Ward.
Yeah,
like the whole game. They were picking on him bad.
They overachieved this season. So by a mile. I think at the beginning of the year, I said they're going to have a top 5 pick because they
were projected to be the 3rd worst team this year.
Yeah, I mean, so they overachieved. They made the playoffs,
and they do have a top 5 pick.
They do.
Still got it
from the Broncos.
Oh fuck yeah,
they do.
I mean, hey,
makes sense.
Crazy. Son.
He beat Russell's record, his passing record this year.
Yeah,
first season.
Seahawks record.
It's crazy.
I mean, that's got to be super embarrassing for us, though. At the same time,
got to. Yeah, they got to lock him in, right? There's no way they could let him get away.
Who Gino?
You should keep him.
I don't keep him at like a top quarterback price. What are we talking about money wise though? He's played himself probably into a $20 million contract. I would assume at least minimum.
Yeah, I'm thinking
and I wouldn't pay that
25. No, I agree with you that I think the great season that he had is awesome, but I think they're probably going to end up making a mistake and paying him for too much for too long. But it's hard to argue against it. Like, as bad as they're supposed to be, the way he played this year, like, how could you not pay him as one of the better quarterbacks?
My intention will be to draft a quarterback with that top 5 pick and then see if I can bring Geno back at, 10, 12 million, maybe 14 max.
No chance.
As a
backup. He signs that. No chance he signs that. No.
Maybe not. But that's all I would offer. As
he did say he wants to retire Seahawks.
Right. I mean, you could probably use that, but I feel like he would be. He's been a fairly top pick in the league. I think he was a second rounder, but still, he had a lot of high expectations coming in. He knows what it takes.
I think he'll take whatever they give him for real.
I feel like that would be a good.
It's the only team that's actually embraced him and gave him a fair shot, and he took full advantage of it. Why wouldn't you want to stay? Ain't nobody else gonna respect you as much.
Because he only did play well. So much longer to make a lot of money.
The team getting the same respect he got with the Seahawks.
The respect is nice, but when you're talking contract
stuff, is he a free agent?
Yeah. Okay. When you're talking contract stuff, he's never had the opportunity to go get paid big.
That's true.
And he probably doesn't deserve it, to be honest with you, even with the one big season. But he has more leverage than he's ever had in his career. I think you'd be kind of foolish individually to not take advantage of that and say, like, Seahawks are going to have to come with an offer similar to whatever the highest is.
Maybe so.
I'm sure.
It's not like he hasn't made money. He's been in the league for 10 years. He made some money.
Sure.
He ain't had no max contract, so to speak.
Yeah, so it's different. He can probably
still a lot of money.
The amount of money that he's made in his entire career, he can get in one contract this season,
probably
this offseason. So
probably.
I get it from that standpoint, but I think if you're the Seattle Seahawks, you shouldn't be in that ball game.
I agree with what you're saying.
This is your time to not pay a franchise quarterback. Keep it that way for 4 to 5 years, and that's how you solidify a roster. So we'll see.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Maybe so.
Move on to the craziest game of the weekend.
The most important
Saturday night.
The showdown.
Jags Chargers
in Duval.
Couldn't have been a worse start possible for the Jags and Trevor Lawrence.
Oh, awful.
There's only been one other quarterback that's done it. Guess his name.
Ben Roethlisberger.
Yes.
With four
touchdowns in the same game.
That was recent.
That was the one against the Browns?
Yeah.
Okay, I remember
Ben's
watching
thrown 5 picks before and we won a game.
That's wild.
Yeah,
that's craziness.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I mean, it just goes back to what I've always said, though, with interceptions is I really don't care about, because I honestly believe that in an interception, both offensively and defensively, like what it takes to get one and what it takes to like turn it over is an 11-man job a lot of the times. Like, was it pressure on the quarterback? Did the wide receiver run?
We're not about to start this game off with you trying to make a point at the beginning on some interceptions.
It's what I've always. It's what I've always said about picks, though. It's like why I don't care about them as much. Like I care more about like, all right, how are you going to respond to that negativity? Because that's what I want to see in my quarterback overall. You can throw some interceptions, and if you got a decent defense that can bail you out, like what are you going to do your next play? Like, are you gun shy now, or are you out there still trying to make a play to win? That tells me a lot about a quarterback.
That's all fine and dandy. That game was an anomaly. He was not supposed to win that game. He was not supposed to have that turnaround in that game.
You generally don't, right? I mean, you throw that many interceptions, that probably means you're going to lose that football game. But I mean, it's just I don't know. I think I've seen some great quarterbacks turn the ball over. And it's going to happen sometimes. It's just all about how you respond. And I think he responded, of course, like he was supposed to. He stayed in the game, delivered some really good throws in the second half. I feel like when I was watching it, though, the pressure from the Chargers defense was night and day. Like the first half, I feel like they had bodies around Trevor Lawrence. The coverage was tight. It was really some tight windows. Trevor Lawrence had some bad throws. There were some tight windows he was trying to fit it into. Second half, guys was running free, and he had time.
Yeah, in that first half, they were all over him, and he only had enough time to throw short. And they were stacked up short on everything. Samuel was up tight on whoever he was guarding.
3 picks.
The first pick is a fluke. Gets tapped by like 3 different dudes on the offensive lineman, and it just happens. You move on from that.
Yeah.
The second pick was a great play by Samuel. Probably could have been a defensive pass interference, but it doesn't matter. You're going to miss calls in the playoffs. That is what it is. The third pick, is when he just completely misreads the receiver coming across and doesn't pay any attention into the next zone that the guy is going into. That was a terrible interception, the third one. I don't remember the last one, but Trevor looked horrible in the first half. He really looked terrible. I think in the second half, with the pressure you're talking about, Bosa lost his fucking mind.
Yeah,
he got so mad at multiple different plays and just lost his mind.
The funny thing is, I've played with so many people that are just like Bosa, and I understand the frustration because they don't tackles. If you really watch the game, pretty much all left and right tackles, they're getting off the ball early. You can really call a false start, and some of them really have a super early get off. And it's like, that shouldn't be allowed. It really provides, and I get it's a tough job for a tackle to block these like highly, because you got to think about a tackle. You're doing everything fucking backwards, and you're not as athletic as this dude that's coming forward. You know, he might be running a 4.5, 4.6 or something, and he's, you know, almost your same body weight, but all muscle and shit. So it's a tough task. But I think, you know, that's frustration there, and you know, of course, they miss holding calls a lot. So I get why he was so angry, but you got to hold your composure a little bit. He got a couple penalties there in that game.
I think he was like the blame story. So obviously the big comeback takes place. What was it, 27-0? 27-0 in the second quarter. They got a touchdown right before the half to make it 27-7.
Yep.
And then from that point forward, Trevor and the offense kind of took over. And they just kept putting up points. But towards the end of the game, Bosa had a huge fourth down offsides call where they had to stop and ended up giving up the touchdown right afterwards.
That was bad. I mean, and I hate that we don't have like great camera angles to see, like, you know, right down the line and stuff. Because he was close, but I don't know.
Just lined up offsides. It wasn't even a bad jump or anything. He was lined up from the beginning offsides. And then
that was on a third down, too, I think.
I think it was fourth. I could be wrong, but I think it was a fourth down.
It was a crucial play.
And then the next, the other huge mistake on when he gets the 15-yard penalty for unsportsmanlike conduct and puts him on the 1 to go for 2 and cut the game to 2 so that last second field goal doesn't send you to overtime. You'll lose on it. To me, those were the two biggest plays, and I put a lot of the blame on him. You blow a lead the way they blew the lead, the entire team gets a whole chunk of blame. You could spread across everybody. I want to get your take on Staley in this game, because obviously you've been super hard on him. I think overly harsh, but a lot of people have been. And he took a lot of the blame on this immediately. Fire this dude, get him out of there. I didn't notice anything specifically where I was like, yo, he really fucked that up in the second half. I think the whole team played bad. Do you think that's completely wrong, or you think this is his fault?
I think the team played bad, but you know, I think he down the stretch he made some critical mistakes. That challenge was awful.
Refresh me on that.
It was a clear catch down towards the end of the game where one of the Jaguar players, probably Zay Jones or something, clearly got his hands under the ball. It was a catch it was like a third down or something. Okay. He only had 2 timeouts left. He decided to burn it to, you know, challenge the play. But it was like, yo, it's clear that they're not going to overturn this. Like, it was a shot in the dark, but right now, when the Jags are driving, this was on their final drive. While they're driving, you need the timeouts more than the challenge, knowing that this is, I mean, if you saw it, it's like you maybe got a 10% chance of winning this thing.
Gotcha.
Like, it just wasn't in your favor. I thought that was a terrible call, and those timeouts came to kind of bite them at the end because they couldn't stop the clock. But, I mean, some of these, like, play sheet coaches that every time you see them, they got their fucking eyes in the play sheet and shit. Like, how about you look in your players' eyes, especially like when it's coming down to the stretch like that, and like really get a pulse of your team? I feel like Staley kind of lacks that a little bit. I'm not a fan.
All
of
coaches
him.
are looking at their play sheet during the game.
Not all of them, no. I mean, not head coaches. It's not really your job to do that necessarily. Your job is to coach the entire team. Like, those aren't normally defensive play calls and stuff like that on those sheets. It's just offensive schemes and all of that shit on there. It's so I mean, that's all I'm saying is that, like, at some point I feel like, you know, whenever you blow a lead that big, I mean, it got to go on the coaches, man.
There has to be accountability on the coaches to blow that big of a lead,
right?
No matter what.
Trevor Lawrence wasn't. Not Trevor Lawrence. Fucking Justin Herbert wasn't great. I think he certainly.
Let's get to the truth.
He missed the throw to Keenan Allen in the
end zone.
That was in the first half.
That was
big.
One.
They still got points on that drive, but I mean, they put up 30 points. That's enough to win the game.
Right.
In the playoff
There's a
game.
whole half left.
Well, that was mostly the defense, though, as well.
Well,
Put up those points.
Let's get to the realness of it. If it weren't for the
Lawrence,
defense and fucking Eckler and them short to goal situations, it'd be. But Herbert produced one touchdown in that game.
But look who he had to play with, dog. What have I always said? That's the truth, though. Look who he had to play with. What have I always said about the Chargers is they need a guy in that wide receiver room.
Well, they lost him, Mike Williams. He got hurt in the last game of the season.
Mike Williams is a number 2, number 3 wide receiver at best.
I know
y'all like Keenan Allen, but Keenan Allen is a number 2 wide receiver in the NFL. He just is. Like, he's not supposed to be your number 1 guy. They need him. Need a guy for him.
That's just hate to say. He's been the number 1 on that team for a long time.
Let me take your side and still disagree with your Allen take or Keenan Allen. Whatever you think of him, he's a great receiver. I do think it was a legitimate problem that they didn't have anybody to throw to because of the injuries. They literally were down to 3 receivers in the second half.
Right.
And the third one was some white dude that fumbled on the end around because they went to hand it to him, and he was like trying to get away from the ball. He looked terrified to be out there. He never played again. They were legitimately decimated by injuries, but it's hard. I'm 27. 27, you just got to find a way to win.
Yeah, you got to find a way to capitalize at some point.
Has to happen.
You were able to get 1 field goal the whole second half. Trevor Lawrence went on a tear. Remember last week when you was like talking about that Jaguars win that they had, the 5-game winning streak, completed that, and you was like, this game shows that why Herbert is a greater quarterback.
That was the Titans game.
Yeah.
When he struggled.
They won. The difference between Trevor Lawrence and Herbert that I've said this whole time, Trevor is a fucking winner.
I don't get where you're getting that from.
He is a winner.
I don't understand where you're getting that from when Justin Herbert's won more games in his first 2 years in the NFL than Trevor Lawrence did. I get that Trevor Lawrence made it to...
Yeah, one is going further in the playoffs than the other.
Yeah, but that's just one season. Lawrence has lost more games in the NFL.
Well, look. But you can't play both sides because...
I like both players, though. I don't want to get pent against Lawrence because I do like both. But
that's fair.
But Justin Herbert is literally... we've never seen anybody... throw the ball, come into the league throwing the ball like Justin Herbert. And that's a fact that you have to acknowledge.
I still would take Herbert over Lawrence.
Yeah.
I just think I think they're in the same category.
Very
I don't
players.
think I think you've said you don't think he's in that same tier. But the winning games in the NFL, Trevor had an entire year with Urban Meyer.
Yes.
That's got to account for something. This is the first time we got to see both of them in the playoffs.
You like to blame coaches all the time. Blame his sorry coach he had last year.
Well, I mean, and I can also say that, again, I don't think Brandon Staley he's a quality coach.
Team from the worst record to being in the playoffs going to the divisional round.
But you can also say that Doug Peterson having a Super Bowl caliber coach on that's what it takes. Brandon Staley has blown. They were supposed to make the playoffs the last 2 seasons. It's literally due to calls that you could point out in games that's like they should have won these games if he wasn't making these dumbass calls. The Raiders last year, that game, you remember that? They blew it at the end.
He had like 6 years.
They had a win.
Herbert. This season 4 for Herbert?
I want to say 3.
This is his 3rd year.
Yeah, I think it's 3.
Season 3. So how many more seasons are we going to not give him no blame for failing at the end of the year?
I didn't say that he don't get no blame, but at the same time, how old was Peyton Manning when he won his first
I'm not comparing him to a Hall of Famer.
But that's what it is, though. He's putting up Hall of Fame level stats this early in his career.
Sure.
Why wouldn't you start comparing them now? Like that's the game. The game is comparison. That's how
that. You like to compare people to legends. I don't like to do that.
But just anybody though. How often does it happen that you come into the league and win playoff games and stuff like that? Especially again, the Chargers organization isn't known for that. They are
known as choke artists.
They're not. I mean, you got to change the entire image of a team. Even somebody like the Jaguars have had history of being a relevant team.
In the hunt. They just always had to run into the Steelers or the Patriots during that time in their reign of the league. So sometimes you run into another big dog, but they've always been in the action of it. They always been making it to the playoffs and been in the heat. They just run into a better team.
I mean, that's true. They seem like they've always been choke artists, and they find ways to lose games that they shouldn't. But do you have any specific criticisms of Herbert, or just that he's overly praised?
Not even the overly praised. It's just like, I think people put too much on the stats and not the winning of games. I know you say that's a team thing, this, that, and the third, but I don't know any other quarterback that don't get no blame when the team fails. Like, you're still the leader of the team. You're the most important position on the field. You should get some of that blame. Whole half, one field goal, while the other one's putting up 3-4 touchdowns on you. You got to respond. At some point, you have to respond. You're going to be considered one of the elite. They comparing you to Allen, Mahomes, and Burrows in the league, but you're not showing up in the times that you need to be showing up. You can't keep putting all that on the coach. You on the field, make a play.
Yeah, no doubt. But I think he's certainly
Trevor
capable.
Lawrence looked flat awful. They was on his ass. Looked like he wasn't going to do shit. He turned that shit around.
But did Trevor Lawrence do anything specifically to say, like, oh, he ain't that guy? He didn't. But I mean, not Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert. I get them mixed up all the time. Did he do anything specifically to say that he wasn't that guy?
Yeah.
He did.
That second half showed me that he wasn't that guy. He wasn't that guy second half.
Look at the wide receivers he had to pick from.
Okay.
Again, it's not just him. You can't throw it to yourself.
Sure.
You can't, bro. At least what you can say for Trevor Lawrence is that he don't have, a top one wide receiver, but all of those guys have been with him the entire season. He's repped 1,000 reps with these guys, and at least two of them can just flat out uncover and get open. Justin Herbert has one guy who can do that, and that's Keenan Allen.
You could say three.
Mike Williams can't. Yeah,
he still
Mike
got
Williams can't
he
even.
still got what's that tight end's name? Everett played well for him this season.
He had a good.
Guys.
He's good.
He had a good season,
good
but what I'm saying is, though, he don't really have those guys that can flat out get open, dog. Mike Williams is a 50-50 ball catcher. He's not running down the field wide open and no shit like that.
I don't like Mike Williams. I don't think he's that good.
He's a great deep threat.
50-50 ball catcher. He's not even a deep threat, though.
Which is something that you needed in that second half of that game. You needed somebody to go out there and make a play.
Well, right, but I'm saying, you just said that he needed that, but he didn't have that. He didn't have those wide receivers available to him, so that has to be something.
That's a specific criticism that we made last week. We already had this discussion, but Williams wasn't available because he was playing in the meaningless Week 17 game that he never should have been in, and that was Staley's. So that's a legitimate, specific criticism that you can give for Staley that put them in a terrible position. I think he is going to get fired, to be honest with you. I think just the outcry is big enough, and he's had enough blunders over the 2 or 3 seasons he's been there. I think he will get fired. I don't necessarily think it's merited because they have been a good team during that time, but
they have. But is there still more meat on the bone when you're looking at it?
Absolutely.
Would you say this dude has had overall the best roster in the NFL for the past 2 or 3 seasons? And
I would say this year you could make a strong case.
Last season they had the most Pro Bowlers.
They beefed up the defense this year.
Well, didn't last year they had the most Pro Bowlers in the NFL?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure, like, offensively and defensively, like,
you could attribute that to Herbert.
They had the most Pro Bowlers in the NFL last year, something like that, or
possibly.
At least it's been recent that they've been in the tops of the leagues with Pro Bowlers and All Pro players and stuff like that. I just feel like that falls on the head coach, man. You're not getting enough out of your group, and you can't put all of that on the quarterback because he doesn't play both sides of the ball.
What do you put on him? Let's ask that question. What do you put on Herbert?
I mean, it should be judgment by you losing that game. That's a stain nobody wants on their career. Blowing a 27-point lead. That's terrible. A terrible look. But then you also have to look at the context of it too. It's like, they couldn't run the ball. You need Eckler's a great running back, I think, but this is a utility back. He's not supposed to be your every down carrier. You don't have any physicality coming into the playoffs with this kind of look. So maybe you need to get a guy who can tote the mail at the end of these games to finish it.
Okay.
All I'm saying, it can't be Herbert or bust in these type of moments when another team is surging. Who gonna make a play?
Let's swap everybody out, get them some more guys, and see what happens next year. Like, I don't know how many more seasons is gonna go where we blaming everybody else but the quarterback just because he got crazy stats.
You're just wrong, and you'll see one day.
Not wrong.
I'm talking about a Hall of Fame caliber player here.
Not wrong.
And I think Lawrence possibly could be that as well too. That guy is. I like I said, I put him in the same category of just like height, weight, speed, arm strength, like the perfect quarterback.
I don't fall into the stat stuff away. I fuck with winners. That motherfucker.
But again, I don't think you could necessarily. He played at a huge program for high school and Clemson, so. Of course, he didn't lose any games there. Like, he literally played like at the best programs possible. And I'm not saying that he's not a great player or anything.
You could also say that Clemson became that because of him. They knocked down Bama. Bama was the god of college football until Clemson came in, took over. I think 1-2. I could be wrong on that. I don't follow enough, but I think he is a winner. I get those vibes from him to make the comeback like he did in this first playoff appearance.
That's the type of resilience that you can't teach.
Career,
you can't teach that type of resilience.
There's something there.
Somebody dropped 4 picks in the first quarter, first 2 quarters. Like, and not a lot of quarterbacks is going to bounce back after that shit.
Nah.
I prefer to see it. Like I said, I prefer to see that kind of ugliness.
I'm sure most of them prefer to see their quarterback bounce back. Like
most
that.
people don't want to see their quarterback throw 4 picks. But
of course.
Well, all I'm saying is, like, I prefer to if you had to ask me what kind of game, like, would I judge a quarterback off of? Would it be like a 6 touchdown performance or a performance where he threw 4 interceptions and 4 touchdowns and came back to win it? I would probably say that because it's like that tells me a lot more about it. Like, you can take a punch and keep on swinging. Like, that's what guys want out of their quarterback.
You really hanging on this. I like my QBs to throw interceptions. I don't see nobody agreeing with that shit.
I've always said that. I don't say that I like them. I just like to see the response. I'm not a big... I don't care, again, because I feel like an interception is an 11-man job. Like, it's a lot that goes into it, like a lot of minutia. Like, when you're looking at the stat line, all right, yeah, you might have seen this guy threw 3 picks, but, all right, one was a tip ball at the line of scrimmage. The other one was the wide receiver running the bad. It's an 11-man job, so it don't tell the whole story when you're just looking at the box scores on that kind of stuff. That's all I say about it.
Shout out to the box score fans. Shout out to them.
Yeah,
been consistent on this. I will say that I fully expected that you were going to give him a lot of shit about these interceptions, and I was going to mention how forgiving you were and how explanation you gave for.
He found a way to find a point that he made in the past.
But you've been consistent on this. I'll give you that 100%.
It doesn't bother me, bro. How do you finish the game?
Sure,
that's what man.
I told you it was better. Finish the game. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, that's fine. That's fine for sure. But again, you talk to somebody who watched Ben Roethlisberger play there his entire career. This is Ben Ball. That's how he plays football. He goes out there, he throws picks, he wins the fucking game. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? That's the end stat line is the did you get a W or L? That's the most important. Fuck all that other shit.
That's all I've been saying, man. This is all I've been saying. And you keep talking about, the best 3 season stats of all time.
But he's won games,
is he winning? Is he making the playoffs consistently with this stacked team he got? He not.
But he's
got in there, got waxed by a fucking guy that ain't never been there as well.
And don't act like Herbert hasn't brought his team back for some crazy... It had some game-winning touchdowns, like walk-off touchdowns, bro. It's in his career, and I think those traits are in his bloodline. They didn't make the playoffs.
Yep, in those seasons where they didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah, but I mean, not everybody can be 9-8 and make the playoffs. And win their division. That's not gonna happen all the time for the Chargers, bro. They play in the fucking division with the Kansas City Chiefs. The Jaguars were fucking 9-8 and won a division. No. So don't sit here and act like Trevor Lawrence made them into a power team. They got lucky because their division sucked. If Herbert was
the worst record in the league halfway through, and they got lucky. That's not lucky. That's motherfuckers balling.
That's not motherfuckers balling, bro. You finished 9-8.
You don't have a 5-game winning streak off luck.
You're not a good team. You're not a good team, bro. That's all I'm saying is that don't try to. If the Chargers were in that division, they would have been in the playoffs the last 2-3 years. We know that.
I don't live in the make believe.
I do agree with that.
They would. I'm just saying, bro. Like, that shit matters too. They went into the playoffs at 9-8. Yeah. Don't come in here and say, "Oh, this guy's a winner." But I'm just saying, bro. So relax on that.
He's in the divisional round. He's the winner.
Yeah, they squeaked in a bad division, but then they got in to play the team that's 10-7 or whatever and beat them as well. I mean, we're looping here. I think we've covered everything that we can on this. You guys are not going to see eye to eye on these two quarterbacks. It is what it is.
But the thing is, I like them both.
I know.
This dude doesn't like Herbert. He has resentment.
I ain't saying like Herbert
for some reason.
I think Moss says...
Him and Mahomes, for some reason,
y'all know how I am.
I
like to criticize the motherfucker that don't get no type of criticism. That's what that bothers
I feel like
me.
anytime somebody is like asserting himself in that Tom Brady... Like,
no, I do agree with this.
Anytime anybody has that this guy's the best quarterback.
I'm out. If you say Herbert is asserting himself in the Tom Brady category, I'm out.
I'm out. But anytime you start acknowledging how good a quarterback is early on in his career, you all automatically go, "Oh, ain't no Tom Brady though."
I've never said that. I've never said those words about nobody we talking about.
I don't know.
I've never said that.
You hate Mahomes for some reason, for like the same reasons.
I
didn't like when they was goading him off for 2 seasons. I didn't like that.
And the crazy part is you didn't even like Trevor Lawrence. You liked Fields more than Trevor Lawrence coming out of the draft. For the guy who was just a winner, and that's all I see is winning.
I like Fields because I thought we had a better chance of getting him than Trevor. Trevor was going the first two.
You said that Trevor Lawrence was... I didn't see it. I watched Clemson. I didn't see it when you watch Trevor Lawrence. We can run it back on the pod. So don't flip-flop on me now.
I think both things are true. I do think you get very defensive and hate anybody that gets mentioned in the same breath as Tom Brady. And I think you also have this effect where anybody that you like... Everybody that knows you has to hate that person because you're so fucking annoying about them. So you could put half the blame on yourself for why he may discredit Herbert because you are annoying about the players you like.
I ain't even said nothing crazy about him. No crazy projections or nothing like that. I'm just look at what this motherfucker's done.
I can't speak to a specific time, but I doubt that. I know you, and you go crazy with everytheverything you see. So
I don't know.
That's all it is.
I haven't said anything.
I don't like when people jump to conclusions already. Like, let the motherfucker have a career first. Let him have a career first.
All right. Let's get to the next game. Bills and Dolphins turned into a much closer game than anybody expected. Much closer game than it ever should have been. Bills jump out 17-0 real quick, like it's nothing, and then just look like shit the majority of the rest of the game, in my opinion. I thought their play calling was worse than anybody else's in the playoffs.
What game we on?
The Bills, Dolphins. They wanted to throw a 50-yard bomb every third play.
Bills is playing with their food.
It was so ridiculous. They refused when they scored those first 17 points. They're walking it down the field, hitting digs for 15-yard plays. Somebody else catch one for 18 yards, and they're ripping off big chunks of the field. And then from that point forward, they wanted to throw bombs over and over and over.
They were trying to light it up.
I have no idea what they were doing. There was even later in the game, there was a 3rd and inches. They got Josh fucking Allen, the monster that he is, and they threw some shit 30 yards downfield. The receiver made an incredible catch to save him.
They did.
But I thought their play calling was terrible, and they got lucky to squeak away a win.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, that's why I think the Bills are a really, really good team. But that's probably one of the reasons why I can't really buy in on them, and I haven't the past couple years either. Just because, man, I really feel like I know they have Josh Allen, but I feel like you really got to be able to run the ball. And they just are.
They just don't even try.
It's not even like they can't do it. They don't.
They don't try at all.
They want to put the ball in Josh Allen's hands, and that's fair to say. But when you're up 17-0, I mean, and you can't really milk the clock, but you could play that ball control game at that point, and just keep it out the other team's hands. I get that you got Josh Allen. You're gonna dial it up sometimes, but they just don't have a commitment at all to the run game. You might see it for a drive or two, but after that, man, it's Josh Allen or bust. And I feel like they're going to get themselves into situations like this playing that kind of football, especially in the playoffs. Like playoffs is you have to have a run game, I think, or at least like a pseudo kind of run game in order to dive deep into the playoffs, in my opinion.
I think it all depends. I mean, I get it. They probably should run a little bit more, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Like, they've been consistently winning in the top of the AFC the last couple of seasons, playing how they play.
For sure.
It's almost like just like how the Chiefs was before they got their Pacheco and they had different guys after Tyreek Hill left. They've been switching it up a little bit, but they won a championship off not having a running game. So it's like
Didn't they have Kareem Hunt?
It's not like it's
He was
not
one of the
possible.
best running backs in the league.
I mean, but they was using him as like an Eckler-esque type
he
of
was
player.
1,000-yard rusher though. Pacheco is almost. I think he almost had 1,000 yards this season, and he hasn't even played all the games. Like
Well, I
they
think he
run
was
the ball
saying
though.
this year that they have been running more.
Yeah, this year they switched it up. They started running more because they ain't got Tyreek Hill no more. They've been maneuvering the ball a little differently, but they wasn't known for having a running game like that in their best seasons. They won strictly off their passing game.
I can't remember if Kareem Hunt was on the Super Bowl team or not.
I can't either.
But I mean, he was a Pro Bowl running back.
Sure.
He was. I'm just saying, he was the real deal when he was there.
They weren't even trying to run Josh Allen much. And late in the game when they really needed to, he had a couple of big carries where they designed runs and stuff. But
They
even
kept
if
a
you want
spy
to
on Lamar
utilize him
game,
to run in the postseason, I got no problems with that.
Who's better, Josh Allen or Cam Newton?
Oh, Josh Allen, not even close.
In their prime,
I still would go Allen.
you would go Allen.
He's so much better of a
stud.
passer.
Yeah.
Cam is by far the better runner, but and got wins. Look, I got no disrespect for Cam, but no, I would take Allen 9 times out of 10.
I think I'll take Cam, a prime Cam, because I don't know.
You know how you trying to make me out be a hater? You've been a real avid hater of Josh Allen.
I've never been a hater of Josh Allen.
Oh, okay.
I've never been a hater of him.
I'm questioning Josh Allen more than I ever have, and this is not. I was fucking around a little bit in the chat about how much I hate him and the Bills and stuff because of my bets, but I legitimately think like he is the solution and the problem. He constantly tries to do too much and makes so many stupid plays throughout the game. He makes up for them constantly by the amazing plays that he makes, but once a game he does something retarded to lose the ball, and when you get into these big games, one play can have that big difference. And
flip it.
And I agree with you about their run game. That's a problem for the Bills in general. But he makes a lot of boneheaded plays that's just hard to even understand what you're trying to do. I understand being the gunslinger and stuff and like doing a little bit too much from time to time, but I think with him it's excessive. And he'll probably play next week and be absolutely dominant because he can do that at any point in time. But he's not a guy that I have the greatest. I don't have the top 3 trust in him. There's other guys that I would rather have as my quarterback if you could just pick anybody.
I think I'll take Cam just because I think you put Cam in that offense, he's just as good, if not better. Cam just never had weapons like that. You're talking about Kelvin Beachum being your number 1 versus Stephon Diggs and Gabe Davis and having a decent tight end. I think. And I mean, Cam had the tight end advantage for sure.
Yeah,
for most of
he
his
had
career.
Olsen, he had Smith for a couple of years. He certainly didn't have the exact same weapons for 100%, but
consistency, like over years.
he was a very inconsistent passer, no matter who he was throwing it to.
So was Josh Allen though early in his career before he had
his first 2 seasons,
first 3 really. Before he got Stephon Diggs. He was like a below 60% completion percentage guy, like 55, 53% his first 2 years. So, but I mean, I feel like, and Cam was more accurate than that early on in his career, like significantly more. But that's all I'm saying. Is like, I think he's like Cam, but I'd rather have Cam in his prime. That's the only thing.
I'll go with Josh Allen over Cam. But I feel you.
Yeah.
They're both great quarterbacks. I don't want to.
No, I do respect him. He got a cannon of an arm, man. He's a lot to fucking handle running down the fucking field. I think he actually has a little bit like more wiggle than people think. He got a little. He put a move on defenders in the secondary and stuff. Once he gets to that level, he's more elusive than you think. But I don't. I mean, like Andrew said, it's just guys I would rather have than Josh Allen.
But I also think your fix of giving them a run game might fix the problems that I have with Josh Allen.
Yeah,
if he's not back there
right.
trying to make a play on every single down, then he probably doesn't get into these situations where he's trying to do too much so often. So, I mean, I think that's a little bit of organizational decision that they got to figure out. But the Bills are going to be fine. I mean, I think they're still a great team, but I was very disappointed. And there's no reason for Skylar Thompson to go out there and be able to keep them in the game the way that they did. And if the Dolphins receivers caught the ball at all,
they could have won that game.
They dropped so many fucking wide open catches, the big guns too. It wasn't the no names. Waddle was dropping, Tyreek was dropping. They blew that game. They could have had a huge, massive upset, but
dropped a lot of big catches.
Oh well, survive in advance, I suppose.
That's the name of it.
It's the name of the game.
Giants Vikings.
Yep.
Yeah, they will and the Giants are for real. I think they're done this week.
It's finally time to give the Giants their flowers.
Yeah, I honestly I want to give the flowers specifically to Dable. Yeah. I was reading stuff this morning about the signings that they made in the offseason, and I didn't check this, but they said that they signed 3 guys that were not on the team the year before. He took a team and just completely changed it with the guys that were already there. Mm-hmm. Obviously changed their mentality.
No real receiver. Best receiver is Slayton.
Yeah.
Like, what we doing?
Yeah, they're giving 20-something million to
Hodges
Galladay.
had a good game. 8 catches and 105.
Hodges was killing it. I don't even know who he is.
I think they brought him off the practice squad, I think, earlier this season.
Get out of here.
Daniel Jones might be a stud, yo.
I don't know.
He might be a stud, yo.
Huh? I think you have been a fan of Daniel Jones.
I've always, because I think, again, this goes, man, it's that development thing. Everybody's so ready to throw a quarterback in the trash.
Yeah, but this is what Josh Allen did.
He developed.
You give it all to Diggs, but he made massive leaps in his accuracy.
I'm not saying, he definitely got better, but they got him the targets to do so.
Sure, but let's go to Daniel Jones. I'm sorry.
It was collaborative, and that's how it should be. But, yeah, I mean, you just look at the skill set of Daniel Jones. I had no problem with the pick when everybody was going off about it, just because it's like, all right, well, this dude is athletic and he can throw the ball. And it turns out he was way more athletic than we thought.
He was running it all
way
over the place.
Way more athletic than anybody thought. Like when you've seen some of the plays he was making
yards yesterday.
Yeah. When you see some of the plays he was making even earlier in his career, though, you're like, oh, this dude got legit wheels.
Yeah.
And I always thought, I could work with that. If that was my quarterback, like, I could work with that. Like, it doesn't seem like he throws the ball funny or anything. He doesn't have, like, the best arm, but he gets the ball there. He's accurate. He earned a nickname in his preseason games, Daddy Dime. So it's like, all right.
It's a great nickname.
We can work with that. Like, that's what he gave you. But I think, coaching and stuff like that failed him over the years. And just being consistent, not having Saquon Barkley in the lineup makes a huge difference. Just that presence, and he's back to playing like. I mean,
he got
one
more
of the top 3 backs
yesterday.
Yeah. He's one of the top 3 backs in the league when healthy. Just as maybe not production wise, but just as far as giving that dude the ball and watching him make a play.
He had some nasty plays too.
He could just burst out for 60 yards at any time. So I like the mentality of that team. Their defense is better than I thought, especially up front. That dude, Dexter Lawrence, I think he was their first round pick this year, number 97. He was really causing havoc, specifically in that second half. He was moving folks out the way. So yeah, I think look, you got to give a lot of credit to Dable, but the development of Daniel Jones is crucial here too, and the health of Saquon Barkley, of course.
Yeah,
yes, indeed. Shout out to Dable, coach of the year.
I think he's got to be.
I think it's easily at this point.
Yeah,
agreed.
I think Daniel Jones is really good. I think the Vikings have one of the worst defenses I've ever seen. They do. So his numbers were a bit inflated this past week than what I actually think he is, but. He's definitely like the franchise guy.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong.
Pat Pete should hang it up, right? Is he still on the Vikings?
Who's that?
Patrick Peterson?
Yeah, he was out there.
He should hang it up.
Yeah, I don't know specifically what I can't speak towards him specifically, but their secondary was terrible the majority of the year. They were continuously a team that you just bet the quarterbacks over every single week. They're giving up 270s, 280s, 300s to guys that don't put up passing yards. It was easy.
Hey, and hats off to the Giants. They got rid of some like decent offensive players here recently, and still are able to win. Like Evan Ingram's playing in the playoffs right now. He's shown that he can play.
He looks nasty with Jacksonville.
Their first round pick last year was Kadarius Toney.
Yeah,
he's with the Chiefs. He's
not like good pieces to go.
And still balling. So hey, that's coaching.
Yeah,
right there for you. That's a team effort.
Sure.
It's not just one player. It's the coach, the team, the unit, one band, one sound.
Sure. I mean, when nobody ever comparing Danny Dimes to Mahomes and Burrow and Josh Allen either, but sure.
Good point. Anything else on that game? I guess we talk about the last play.
Yeah.
They're in 4th and 8, and Cousins decides to throw it to the guy 3 yards past the line of scrimmage with a defender immediately there to tackle him. I legitimately wonder if he knew it was 4th down.
That Tom Brady shit, like fourth down now. No, I don't know. I think again, it's just I do not trust Kirk Cousins in high pressure situations and situational football. I think he is probably, if not the worst, he's definitely bottom 7 in the league that you would want in that situation. And he's proven that throughout his career is that he's really not a clutch quarterback. He doesn't deliver the goods in those moments.
Is that a true statement?
Huh?
Is that a true statement?
I think so. I mean, you could point to he had a 33-point comeback. Like, these are anomalies. It's just not going to happen. But he was a big part of why they got down that far. Yeah, no doubt. But he's had more bad moments in his situations than he's had good, in my opinion.
Probably so.
The numbers on him, like in primetime games, and obviously not having a lot of playoff success, it seems to be a legitimate thing. So I don't know what the stats are as far as what his career numbers look like in clutch moments or final 2 minutes of the game, but eye test says that he is not the guy that you ever want in those situations.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, he took a knee one time. He was supposed to spike it, and the clock ran out. You've never seen anybody do anything. Like, he's a smart guy, but in these situations, he gets frazzled. Like, he's just one of those people that seems like he gets skittish in these situations. And I get he was under a lot of pressure, but at that point, man, you just got to go out there and make a play. I felt like it was opportunity maybe for him to wiggle out of it and try to run for the first down. Chuck it up in the air or something. Don't throw it to the guy in the fucking flat right now with a defender draped on his back. That's just one of them hot potato type moments. You don't want a quarterback who does that in that situation. I said he's a good stopgap kind of guy to tutor some up and coming young quarterback, but you got to get a guy that can at least thrive in those moments. I would rather have a guy who's not good for 3 quarters and can deliver the goods when I need them. I would rather have that guy.
It's hard to win with that guy as well, but I understand what you're saying.
It is. But
I mean, I would rather have a young guy anyway. That's not good for like the first 3 quarters, but then, and not saying like terrible, you know what I'm saying, but just average. But when you need it the most, he's delivering. Like, that's what you really want your quarterback. That's what they pay the big bucks for. And Kirk Cousins is not that dude. He can manage your team. That's pretty much all you're gonna get out of him.
Maybe so. Kind of the same argument I was making for somebody earlier, but sure.
Let's keep it moving. Let's not go back to that.
Please don't, bro, because this is completely different.
All right.
Sunday night, Ravens-Bengals.
Yeah.
Big divisional game. Really, it all comes down to one play.
Ravens screwed the hooch, man.
Ravens outplayed the Bengals in that game.
Yeah.
Where'd that one come from?
You never heard that?
I think it's pooch is the actual saying. Screwed the pooch.
I think hooch is
I believe that's the actual saying.
like jailhouse liquor.
Yeah.
I thought
But
that's
from
what it was.
life. Got that hooch.
Maybe it applies. But yes,
What is
they
pooch?
did. I don't know. I think a pooch is a dog,
It's
so I
a
don't know
dog.
how
I think
that
it's a dog.
No,
phrase
screwed
works.
the hooch, bro. You fucked up the batch.
Could be. I mean,
That's what it is.
the same
I'm pretty
idea. Either way, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree that they did. They had the drive going, tied game, ready to go score, get it down to the 2, and for whatever reason, decide to try the reach over Michael Jordan play from the 2-yard line.
Lawrence did it, but he was on the fucking 1 yard line.
Yeah, from the 1 it makes sense. From the 2,
he's big as
he's
fuck.
like
Fucking 6'8".
far.
He's huge. Tyler Huntley don't give me that kind of like. Oh, I don't look at him like, oh man, this dude is physically. Just
That's all this guy. 6'1".
He's an average guy. You know what I'm saying? He's an average sized fellow. Like, I'm not telling him to do that on the goal line, and I wonder if he just took it upon himself.
Harbaugh hung him out to dry and said that he was supposed to go underneath, but I mean, I would have done the same thing. If that's the case, that's the case.
But he was up. I mean, they had people lined up behind him as if they were ready to push.
Yeah.
Wow,
To give
it's
him a
not
little
fourth
leeway,
down.
that's what the Ravens do. I know they usually do it with Lamar, but they did it in that game. I think it was like a fourth and some change, and they did a little QB joint like they do with Lamar to get that short distance joint, and he got it. That's just what they do.
Over the top?
Over the top?
It wasn't over the top. It was like a 4th and inches, 4th and 1 or some shit like that.
That's what
it was like a short shotgun. He ran it in.
I know what you're talking about, though. I thought that was weird, too, to go shotgun in that situation, but it worked out well.
But it just seems like that's just what they do in those situations. They give it to that quarterback. I mean, Huntley is not Lamar, but he can run a little bit.
Yeah, nobody's wrong. Nobody's saying not give it to the quarterback right there.
Yeah.
But you don't do that. Over. You don't reach over the line of scrimmage, and you're not even close. Like, it was at no point where you're like, that ball could have crossed.
Nah,
he wasn't close.
It was
even if he had full extension of his arms, he would probably be like 6 inches away from the goal line.
Right.
And it's like, why did you think that was a good idea?
No clue. 98 yards the other way. Make it 24-17.
That was
terrible to expose the ball like that. Knowing that the line of scrimmage is the most crowded.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're expecting a QB sneak right now based on your formation. Like,
they ran it all over them. They were having success on the run. Give it to Dobbins. Do a regular QB
sneak. I probably gave it. As much as Dobbins was like making people miss, like the first man, he's a really good running back.
Did you see his tweet after the game? J.K. Dobbins?
I've heard I see some comments. I didn't see the tweet.
He tweeted out something basically saying like they should have been giving me the ball more. They shouldn't have put Huntley in that situation to make that play in that point of the game. They should have gave it to me. I feel like they did him dirty and threw him out the dry type shit. So he's kind of taking up for Huntley a little bit, but kind of like basically saying like, y'all should have gave me the ball.
That's a nice thing to do, but I mean, quarterback sneak works every single time.
Exactly.
You just run it the right way.
One of the most high percentage plays.
And
in
even
football.
if they stop it the first time, you do it again. Like, you just can't put the ball out.
I think that's what the intention was. It was third down, right?
Yeah,
we were going back-to-back QB sneak this motherfucker.
I think so too.
Yeah.
Or the second attempt will probably be something like a fullback handoff to Ricard or something. Let him dive in there, and score the touchdown. But yeah, I mean, I don't think you could put it on the coaching staff here. Nobody,
no, I don't either.
Nobody told him to go over the top like that. I would. Have you ever done that in your career, sir? You know, like, how has this been successful for you?
From the one, I don't even mind it. It's the 2-yard line thing that kills me.
You're on the 2-yard line. It shows bad
far.
situational football right there.
Great play by the Bengals.
Yeah, you got to knock that shit out. Logan Wilson, again, fine linebacker right there, man. That dude's a good player. And I hate to say that, but the Bengals got some guys on defense. But yeah, man, nobody told him to do that. That was a 14-point swing right there, and like the worst one. It's in the crucial moments, the late fourth quarter or at least mid fourth quarter when the shit occurred. You really could put a dagger into the Bengals. As well as your defense was playing at that point, they hadn't surrendered any points, I think, for the majority of the second half, or at least in a while. Man, that would have done a lot for the Ravens right there.
100%. Bengals offense looked dead. And I think they are dead moving forward. They've got the same problem now that they had the year before, where their offensive line is terrible.
Yeah,
and it's because of all the injuries. I think they said they've lost 4 over the last 3 weeks or something. So they fixed the problem that they had, and now we're right back in the same position. Their offense looked horrible in the second half. There was just no chance. It was instant snap, and somebody's on Burrow immediately.
Quick.
Stuff in the run. I mean, the Ravens have a great defense. They deserve a lot of credit for that as well, but I think the Bengals are done moving forward.
I mean, I don't think the Bengals make a run like last year, but I will argue the fact is they played the best defense they'll see, at least on the AFC side.
Yeah, true. True.
So, I mean, it's a hard defense to score on. It just is. Since they've acquired Roquan Smith, I think they're not really letting up more than like 17 points per game, or it's like extremely low on some like all-time great type shit, and you can't run on them. That's been a thing for them. And, the Steelers did it, but it's the Steelers. But yeah,
the elite offense that Pittsburgh has. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how they fare the rest of the way. Real quick on Burrow, where do y'all rank him in the league right now?
Top 5.
Do you have a number? I think we're all top 5.
3.
I had him at 3 as well. Do you? I'm changing that though. What are your thoughts?
I would probably say he's my 4th or 5th best.
Who you got ahead?
Again, I think I'm pretty consistent with it. I'm not going to change my rankings. I go Mahomes 1, of course. Going Herbert 2. 3, I'll probably still put Lamar Jackson there.
Okay. Well, that's insanity. But anyway, I had him at 3, and when they were talking about or showing his stats and stuff throughout the year, I think he was clearly the second best quarterback this year, and I think that's a reasonable spot for him. But I didn't realize that he was so close in every single category, either second or third and everything.
Statistically, yeah, he's all. From last year and this year, he's been top 5 quarterback or top 3 really in all metrics.
Yeah. Anyway, Lamar though. Lamar's situation is wild at this point.
It's hard.
It's just there's so much to either way you want to talk about it. I think both sides of the argument have really strong points, but I saw a pregame Fox coverage from Saturday where it was Mike Vick, Charles Woodson, and Sean Payton talking about Lamar.
I've seen that. I think I know you're talking about.
And all 3 of them basically said that he's got to be out there, that this is the playoffs. The team is in a good position. He's got to be out there. They really were questioning his decision to not play. And Vic specifically was like, put a brace on it. You got to be out there.
He got a little backlash. Vic got a little backlash for how he took it. He on some shit like, I played the whole season with sprained MCL. Like, you got to fight through it and play. It was like, all right, dog. Like, he in the contract year. He ain't trying to fucking shit up even more. Like, you got to think about the situation. But, hey, I get it.
I think it's a really fine line between if you look at it from a contractual and a future, my personal career moving forward, if you're looking at it from Lamar's point of view, it doesn't make sense to go out there with a partial injury or recovering from an injury while you're in a contract and have no guarantee of what's to come in the moving forward.
Yep.
I thought it was interesting to hear from former players and coaches and their perspective of kind of from a teammate type of thing. There's no way that you could not say from a teammate, we would like him to tough this out and be out there. But I think both sides are to blame. The Ravens are to blame because they've played hardball in negotiations and they haven't given him any guarantees to make money. So why should he put himself on the line when you're not willing to? At the same time, I think he's asked for an exorbitant amount of money guaranteed when he has an injury history. And I still have concerns over how he's done in the playoffs. So I think both sides have reasons to be where they're at in the negotiations. But the fact is, because both sides couldn't get something done and work with each other, they're in a shitty spot. And he tweeted after the game, or today I guess it was, I had saved it. He had posted a message on Instagram. When you have, this is somebody else's quote, I guess, but it's when you have something good, you don't play with it. You don't take chances losing it. You don't neglect it. When you have something good, you pour into it. You appreciate it, because when you take care of something good, that good thing takes care of you too. He clearly is pissed and frustrated with the organization. It's just a shit show right now. What do y'all think about all of that?
It's a tough situation. I think, the time to get the contract done with him was
before the season.
Now, I feel like it's very difficult. I honestly wouldn't mind the Ravens going in either direction with it going forward. If you're going to say, hey, we're not going to pay this dude, or we're going to franchise him, pack him up, and trade him, or if you pay him, I think all of those are reasonable avenues for the Ravens to consider, and it's kind of equally weighed. I do think, looking at it now, you're like, man, their offense suffered mightily without Lamar Jackson. He means a whole lot to that team. But maybe you just revise your strategy now and say, hey, maybe we just can't have one player, mean as much to our team going forward. But again, you got an MVP caliber quarterback.
I think
that one player is going to matter if he's MVP caliber, regardless of who you get in there next. So I think ultimately, if I was the Ravens, I probably would pay Lamar at this point, knowing how my team is structured, and that's the way I'm designed to win. And, you're not going to get another Lamar Jackson in there. But, again, I don't have a problem with any of those ways, how they proceed going forward.
I think it would be dumb as hell if they let Lamar Jackson leave. That would be the dumbest move they could ever make, considering how they built this team around him. This whole team is built around him. So do you want to go to a automatic rebuild situation by letting them go, or you can continue to stay on the pace that y'all been doing the last couple of seasons with him? You got to pay this guy, man. You're not gonna find another Lamar Jackson in the next draft, like especially how your team is set
decade.
up.
Yeah.
Like you're not gonna find another guy like that. You better lock him down because he's gonna go somewhere else and go off. That's exactly what's gonna happen, and that'd be the dumbest thing they could ever do. Because then you're putting your team in a full rebuild, even though y'all ain't really got no receivers. They got that dude, what's his name, DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, he's not like a number one guy. It's again,
Bateman was a good receiver right there before he got hurt.
Rashad Bateman.
He's been in and out.
He's pretty good, but they traded away Hollywood beginning of the season. That was another one of his guys. It's like, all right, like, are y'all going to continue? Are you going to fix the situation and keep your quarterback, or are you going to let him go and basically go into a full rebuild? Because you're not going to be good without him.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah, I mean, they showed that. I mean, they averaged like I think maybe 11 points. Or something like that. It was awful.
They had scored over 17
and that's coming
like
from
6
being
or 7 games or something
one of the
like
most dominant teams. And that's why I really gave the Ravens a shot if Lamar could have got back. Got the best defense in the playoffs. And to me, they got the most imposing run game in the playoffs as well, too, with Lamar Jackson.
So they have the best defense in the playoffs?
I think so.
Oh, okay.
Between them, I think it's a toss-up probably between them, the Eagles, and San Fran, but I was just requiring Roquan Smith. I think the statistics show that they were the best defense in the NFL throughout that time. They had went like 15 quarters or something like that without surrendering a touchdown. Okay. Shout out Kenny Pickett. But I really gave them a good shot at winning or having a run if Lamar could have started playing. I felt like the defense could have bought him some time to get back. But that run game, man, being that dominant that way is big. So, like I said, I mean, they put themselves in a position where they ultimately have to pay Lamar, or else they got to blow it up.
Pretty much.
I think they got to get creative with the deal, and I don't know if he is even willing to that. I think his main focus is guaranteed money, but I don't think you can put a bunch of guaranteed money. I just don't. I'm fine with overpaying and giving him more money than you would normally offer a quarterback, like per season. But I've got to have some sort of catches in there where I can get out of this or not pay as much if you're not playing 17 games. I think they've got to do something. But ultimately, I don't see any chance he's not there. I think they'll franchise him if they absolutely have to.
Yeah,
but I think they get a deal done. You can't be this as close to elite as they are and be running out Huntley. I think they know they've got to give him. They've lost a little bit of leverage there, but it'll be interesting. I just can't imagine him not being a Raven.
Yeah, me either.
The choice is yours.
Well, we've gone pretty long here on this stuff. I don't think there's anything overly important we needed to touch at the end, but let's go through predictions on next week games.
Yeah, let's do it.
Jaguars-Chiefs are the first game.
Yep.
Saturday. I think it's going to be a fairly close game.
Me too.
I got to roll with the Chiefs as the winner, but I think the Jags are going to keep it close. I think Trevor, after getting that first game under his belt in the playoffs, there's no way he plays worse than he did in that first half last game. I think he'll have a much better game, but I just can't imagine that they'll be able to stop Mahomes.
I guess it depends on if the game is on a Saturday or a Sunday.
It's Saturday.
He's never lost on a Saturday.
Never lost.
So we'll see. But, I mean, of course, I'm taking the Chiefs in this matchup. Just overall, you got to go with Mahomes, man. These guys are experienced. They've been on this rodeo a long time. They played better teams than the Jaguars throughout this as well, too. So they should really – I think it'll be a more comfortable win. Like, the score might not say that at the end, but you'll be like, while you're watching the game, you're like, I was pretty confident the Chiefs had that in control the entire time. It might end up being something like 31-24 or something like that at the end.
I just typed 30-24 from my prediction. I
think it'll be something like that, but I think, overall, you're like, they kept it within one score, but the Chiefs were really pretty comfortable the entire time within the game. So that's kind of how I see it playing out.
Yeah, they played them in the regular season. They beat them. Chiefs beat them 27-17, pretty handily, 4 TDs from Mahomes. But what I have seen from the Chiefs, especially in the second half of the season, is they kind of play down to their team's competition. They keep the teams that they're playing in the game a little bit. And I think that's a scary situation when you're dealing with a winner like Trevor on the other side of the field. If you keep him close in that game, you're giving him the opportunity to win that game. So I'm going with the Jags with the big upset over the Chiefs.
Big upset.
Yeah, this is gonna be the worst take. And a team
y'all
like
both wrong. I go opposite.
look, a team like I don't put much stock into a team like the Chiefs letting teams hang around and stuff. It happens when you're a really good team sometimes, and you play guys that are not up to your level of talent or competency. Like I feel like they're playing for the playoffs. They're a team that knows they're going to be in the mix. It's hard to get up for some of those regular season games and stuff like that on a week in and week out basis when guys know who they're coming in to play. They're coming in to play the perennial AFC champions and Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest quarterbacks. Like, they know who they're coming in to play. So guys get up a little bit more to play them. It's hard to match those intensities, but they end up still winning those games. So I think you'll see the Chiefs that you've been looking for the 4 quarters in this matchup.
I agree. They do that, and they end up coming out on top at the end of the situation. But I don't agree with the whole the team coming to amping up against you because you want them top dogs. Yeah, it's gonna be every single game. But when it's teams that you're supposed to handle and put in their place, you shouldn't be letting them keep in the game with you in situations. I don't agree with that. I think that's a red flag to me.
It's the NFL, bro. We see this every season, though.
I think they're the worst at it. It's extremely annoying.
Yeah.
I don't think it matters in the playoffs. I think they come ready to rock in the playoffs.
Sure.
But regular season, they will consistently play like shit against every bad team they play and win by 6. And it's just annoying, but I don't think that matters here. I think
because they dominate the good teams that they play. Though.
They do.
They whoop their ass, though. So
I agree.
I wouldn't say that. I'm looking at the record. The good teams stayed pretty close with them.
But they win those games.
They win those games.
They have stats, of course, all over gambling Twitter, but Mahomes is extremely horrible against the spread, against more than
he's
more than
definitely
3-point game.
Because usually it's a 3-point game or less,
like
a minus 14.5, a minus 10.5.
They never cover against those games, but his record when it's 4 points or less is near impeccable. He beats everybody in those games. So I expect that to work.
We talking about a real deal. Dog on the field, like Patrick Mahomes, dog.
You're a dog.
I'm taking him 10 times out of 10 over anybody
for sure
in the league.
For sure.
Eagles Giants.
It's gonna be a good one. Division rivalry.
If Hurts doesn't come out there playing first 3 quarters of the season, Giants are going to steal this game. I'm going to pick the Eagles just because I have to. They were the best team the majority of the season all the way around. But I'm going to stick with Eagles. But don't fuck around. And if Hurts is injured at all, they're in big trouble.
I agree.
The Giants have had a good run. I can't see them in an NFC Championship game, though, man. I just can't see that. The Eagles are a more deserving team of it. Not to say that. The Giants came a long way, but the Eagles might start off slow coming off the bye week, but I'm taking them to win it by 2 scores.
They say
30-23.
It says it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the same season.
Yeah.
Not going to pick the Giants, though, because the times that they beat them, they handled them pretty handily every time they beat. Both times they played them.
Yeah, I just see it as a game where the Eagles going to score more than the Giants are capable of.
That's what's going to come down to.
That's just all. That's all I see. You might pitch a good first half, but the Eagles are just a team that's able to score in bunches.
And that Giants D-line has been pretty good, but Jalen Hurts is able to deal with the D-line.
Yeah, because he can get out and get active.
He can get out of trouble.
And their secondary is in.
Right. Exactly. He can get out of trouble, make plays on the move.
That's what's going to kill him.
They're able to move the pocket. Kirk Cousins is a more stationary kind of quarterback. Yeah. You know where he's going to be. Yeah. So it's a big difference when it comes to that. I think they'll have it schemed up to where the defensive line isn't as impactful. Yeah. This is a team they see twice a year. They're familiar with it. I don't think the Giants have gotten that much better since the last time they played the Eagles.
Yeah. Eagles got an answer for anything the Giants can throw at them, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
they got A.J. Brown.
The only way the Eagles could lose is if they just shoot themselves in the foot and play an awful game.
Right. Yeah, throw a lot of picks.
Yeah.
But overall, I don't think it's close as far as you look at. They're just as well coached and they're the better team.
Right.
So
we're running close on time here, so try to make it quick. Bills, Bengals. I think the Bills get the Bengals out of here. Like I already said, I don't think the Bengals line can hold up enough.
NFL had to get this rematch, huh?
Yeah,
it was very important for them.
Of course.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna go with I'm gonna go with the Bills on this one, but it's really tight, man. I don't know. I guess I'll take the Bills.
You better zig when I zag at some point because you're one game behind in our who picks the most playoff games right, and we got all the same.
It might
right
come
now.
down to the Super Bowl. I don't know.
It might. Who you got, Moss?
I like the Bills in this matchup. I would pick the Bengals if that O-line wasn't so fucked up. But
Bills at home, right?
Bills at home, of course.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bills.
I'm going to roll with the Bills in Buffalo. They should get the job done. Would like to see Joe pull that joint off because I fuck with Joe Burrow, but the Bills should get him. They should handle him.
Niners versus to be decided. I think the Niners are going to win the Super Bowl. So I'm going the Niners. I don't care who they play. We all picked the Cowboys, I believe, last week.
It's between the Cowboys
but it's Cowboys and Bucks is who they'll play. Going Niners.
Yeah, I mean, with the matchup, I think you got to go Niners on that one. It's hard for me. I'm envisioning an Eagles-Niners NFC Championship game.
Yeah, me too.
That's what the world wants to see, I think. So, yeah, I'll go blind with the Niners, of course.
If it's the Cowboys, I think the Niners will beat them. But if it's the Buccaneers...
Can't quit Brady, huh?
If you let Buccaneers get in their divisional round...
Didn't they just wax the Buccaneers, though, the Niners did? That was Purdy's first start, and he threw like 4 touchdowns.
He was the first rookie to beat Brady. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
that's right.
And with that in mind, I think Brady would be seeking some revenge.
yeah, but Brady got to play against that defense, not Brock Purdy.
Right. That's true.
That's very true. But, yeah. Niners. I'm roll with the Niners. The Niners are Cowboy. I think the Niners should pull that thing out.
So we're all on the same page, looking for a Chiefs, Bills, AFC Championship, 49ers, Eagles. That would be an incredible weekend.
I picked the Jags, Bills. But,
Oh, yeah. Wild boy over here. But should be fun either way.
We're taking it back to 2017.
That's funny.
Damn.
Got a little bit better quarterback this time.
Yeah, a lot better.
Either way, should be a fun finish here to the playoffs. We got a couple minutes left. You said something's going down with Ed Reed. I haven't heard anything about this. Put me on.
So, Ed Reed went live one time last week, a few days ago. Well, the first live, he went on there and he was like, standing with Deion Sanders on his take on how HBCUs are run, underfunded, a lot of bullshit that goes on when you try to help these organizations out or these HBCUs out. He was standing up for them, basically just telling them, it's an issue. If y'all got a problem with it, y'all should help these HBCUs out. Like, they underfunded, the campus looks horrible and this type of third, so I understand why he left. Then I think the next day, he went on live on the campus, riding in a little golf cart around the campus and just showing how fucked up the whole Bethune-Cookman down in Daytona, Florida, their campus was. And it was just trash all over the place. Their outdoor track that they have to practice on is just like 100 yards straight away. They don't even have like a full circle track to practice on. So I don't know how you can do all the events and practice for all the events on the track team with that type of shit to work with. He's like, they had like abandoned buildings that's just full of trash on the campus. He's just like, he's basically like, this shit is crazy. Like, I should quit. I should leave. He's like, the key word is I should, because I'm not. I'm going to stay here and fix this shit. But y'all got a problem while I'm talking about this. Help us. Help fund these HBCUs so they can get some better shit going on. He was like, I got here. They ain't even cleaned out my locker room, my office when I came in down here.
He said there was still shit in the office.
It's like, y'all couldn't even clean my office for a new coach coming in. It's like
he said they've been spending time picking up trash.
Yeah, you got his players out there picking up trash around the campus, trying to clean up the damn campus and shit. It's like, I agree, man. It's the common thing with these HBCUs. They underfunded. They got bad fucking headquarters and different buildings that they're supposed to be able to work with for the athletic teams and shit. And it's like, it's just a horrible situation to walk into. How can you expect these NFL guys to come and coach these teams, or any big name player from NFL or from football to come and help these teams out? When they get there, it's like they're met with disrespect from day one. But you expect somebody to stay there and help build them up while nobody else is trying to help build the situation up, down to the school itself. So I agree with him, man. He was ranting, he was getting his shit off on that live. He was going
he was dropping a lot of F-bombs.
Yeah, he was pissed off.
He was really mad.
He was pissed off.
He's like, damn.
He's like, he ain't even under contract to be the head coach. Like, they ain't signed no contract or nothing. They just gave him the job.
What?
It's like all unprofessional shit going on.
That's crazy.
That he has to come in there and deal with. And yeah, he said, I can get a lot of praise, but a lot of love from coming here. But fuck all that praise and shit. Y'all come help us out. Like, help contribute to these HBCUs so we can get this shit on the
help is not on the way.
Level it's supposed to be.
It's not on the way. Do we really? Well, this is America. Do we think that there's going to be a prominent black institute in America that is like funded well and has great facilities and stuff? It's not gonna happen.
Has to start somewhere.
Well, this whole like almost HBCU in itself is like a myth, because it's like, what black organizations own these? Anybody know? They don't.
Oh, you know that.
The best ones, the most prominent HBCUs are named after white people. Howard, Spelman, that's a Rothschild daughter. These are not even like that's all I'm saying is it's like, were they actually designed to like be these powerhouse institutions? No, they're not. They're designed to be really failures and less than. Welcome to America. This is, welcome. Yeah, that's what it is. Hope's not on the way. Yeah. It's not coming.
It's bad.
You know, that's why they took.
It's bad.
They had to. I mean, that's why Deion's gonna take the bag, because it's like, man, I ain't about to. This shit ain't about to fall on my back. You know, me trying to support all this shit that don't work. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I got to be the scapegoat for it and shit. Yeah. Like, and so yeah. I mean, hey, hope's not on the way. Mm-hmm. That's all I gotta say. He
was like, y'all saying I'm mutting the school. Y'all mutting the school. No, they mutting me. Mm-hmm. Bring me down here to this shit.
He was talking to you. I was like, damn, you still work for the school?
Yeah, he was really going there. He was going in
on them like that. That shit was funny.
But I feel him though. It's. I mean, hey. He made millions in his career. He ain't got to come down here and do this shit.
Right.
But he decided to do it, and he ended saying that he's going to stick around. He's not going nowhere because of all he's seen already, but just bringing awareness to how fucked up HBCUs are. But y'all expect a coach to come in and revive the whole situation with no help. It's a tough spot to be in.
For sure.
Yeah, it can't just be the football program, though.
That too.
What about all the other programs? That's what Deion was saying. It was like, all right, yeah, we're ready to. The football team's ready to go up in the division. But what about the basketball team?
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Like, they will get fucked up if we go to a different division or a different conference.
The way around.
Right.
Yeah, like we need improvement everywhere. I can't do that. That's all they were saying. Like, shit, this job is too much for you asking one man to change everything. It's not gonna happen, bro. So
it's a tough spot, man.
Hey, you gonna be picking up trash next year? Yeah, Reed. That's gonna be one of y'all daily duties.
Agreed.
Got nothing to add.
That's all I got.
If you're on YouTube, we appreciate you watching. We'll be back next week. If you're on audio, we got a couple samples coming for you. So YouTube, catch you later. Peace.